Starting.
Does that mean we're started?
Oh, there we go. Live.
We're live! We're live! Woo! We're live! Wait, are we not
It
live?
actually says, please stand by starting soon, so.
Great! I got brought back to life to be punished in the dick.
Well, to be fair, that's the only reason I'd ever bring
And
you
before
back to
supporting
life.
everything,
Error
though.
occurred, please try again.
Oh! God damn it, YouTube!
Womp, womp, womp.
We still
Way too early.
No, you fucked it up. No, fucked it up.
Guys,
Fucked it up. I just whipped you with my tie. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't know that would make you mad. See, I'm a... Apologize. Lets me get away with it.
it got too hot.
We'll give you half the time. 3 in there.
oh, hey, we are on.
Holy shit!
Oh.
Technical difficulties.
Hey guys, how's it going? We totally think that we messed this whole thing up and system, but it turns out we didn't break the system. So yay! All right, everybody. I hope this is going through because this is Lupus's very first live stream, and I'll be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. You guys know what we're doing?
This
I
is
know how
your
to live
show, man.
stream.
Jumping over candles.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're jumping over candles. So what we're doing, actually, is the 100 candles ritual, also known as 100 ghost stories, or Hyaku Monogatari.
Hyaku Monogatari.
Hyaku Monogatari. Did I say that right?
Close enough.
Close enough.
Okay. First off, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a rundown on what we're going to be doing here live. And this is so if we happen to die or burn the house down on camera, you guys get to see it. So it's a very easy one. You need 100 candles. Have here, and you tell 100 ghost stories. It doesn't have to be exactly ghost stories. Could be, curses, enigmas. Could be anything. Just, generally odd or creepy or paranormal. Doesn't matter how long, as long as you tell one. Then you pick up a candle, blow it out. That's really it. And once you 100th one to blow out that last candle, something supernatural should happen. And alright, let's go through the crew real quick. We have Lupus, myself. Hey, you guys know me, I like to kill myself a lot. We'll start on this side. Keegan! You've seen Keegan come through a few of these videos. He's been a lot in the background a lot. We're actually using his house, so thank you so much for letting us use the house. We really appreciate it. I'm so sorry if we burn it down.
I got insurance.
He has insurance, guys! Next, we have Z. You remember her? She stared down Lady Spades and gave her a cookie. There's no cookies. She made the grudge and she's like, no cookies!
Oh, God.
Later cookies.
Brittany! You've seen her quite a bit. She's been in a lot of these. I'm excited to help out with this. How you feeling?
Great. Yeah.
Okay, that tells a lot. I'm gonna go this way because we got a new face here. I'll introduce you last.
Fine.
We got Bishop!
Hi.
You guys are. He's been in, again, a lot of the background, but he's had his time on camera too. You had actually quite a few things paranormal that happened to you.
Yeah.
Of me. Justin, our resident asshole.
I do my best.
What can I say, Justin? That what can I say to really sum up your personality and your demeanor?
You don't need to. He's wearing a kilt.
Yes, he is wearing a kilt.
If you want to sum it up, you'd have to punch him in the dick.
You have to sit there and be like me.
Now, we also have a new face, a good friend of mine, Ryan.
Hi.
He's actually down here from Portland, Oregon. He came down for the wedding, which, by the way, we are at. It's amazing. Lupus is officially married now. Yeah. Sorry, don't take away from your introduction there.
Take it all you want, dude.
Yeah. So this is your very first time appearing on this show. So welcome.
Thank
How do
you.
you? Very good chance you might die tonight.
I've made my peace.
That's good.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Also, in the back over here, who helped correct me on the proper way to say the Japanese name of this, we have Tasha. She is going to be the one on comments and also technical support in case anything goes wrong. She's going to let me know so I don't sit here and blabble on for like half an hour when the camera's dead.
I'm also the resident myth buff, so if anyone
Yes.
has anything wrong, I can try to correct them.
What's also cool is, in case we run out of stories, Tasha is manning the comment section. So if you do have some short ones, be sure to throw in, just in the comments, hey, I got this story here. And we might end up using it. Because we might just run out of stories. We also got a few, I got my trusty smartphone here that has a number of links that are attached to it. So without further ado, let's get this going. So we got some small candles here we're going to start with, then the smaller ones around, or the slightly bigger ones, then the big red ones. All right, so...
Krista says we should get Z a cookie.
Yeah.
Cookies are later.
Maybe after. If you survive, you can have a cookie.
She didn't realize this was death.
But maybe we should give her a cookie so that she can offer a cookie to whatever we wind up summoning here. Might save our
The
lives.
cookie won't
Maybe.
last long enough.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, good point.
All right, so let's get this going. No reason to wait around. Now, does anybody want to start us off? Does anybody have anything creepy that they've
Shouldn't
heard?
you start
You
us off?
first.
Yeah.
It's your show, man.
Oh gosh! All right, God, I have so many. I did also. I said I can just start from that.
You should have one of us read
You
one
know
of your
what?
stories at some point.
I could, but they're
Yeah.
a lot longer.
Oh, yeah, good point.
How about we start off with a complete classic? What about? I have two versions of it. Does that count as one story or two stories?
Probably one story.
One story. Okay. Very short. Shortest horror story ever. The last man on Earth heard a knock on the door. There's another version. It's also kind of creepier.
You gonna blow out 2 candles for it?
There was the last man on Earth, and there was a lock on the door.
Mmm.
Because he's locked in. I'll blow out 1 candle for that. Let's do one, because it's kind of the same thing.
Alright.
He's at that. Oh, God! It's starting! It's starting!
No, you're just
Hey
an
guys,
idiot.
you didn't know it, but this is a will it kill me. Let's see if he kills himself with hot wax by the end of the video.
I hope my check went through.
This is normally the point where you do another take, right? But no.
Yeah.
No, this is
Yeah,
live.
I would do another take, and then as I said, this is live!
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we normally do like 50 takes because he does stuff like this all the time.
Alright, next up. Who wants to go next? Does anybody have anything they want to say?
Do the average story.
She needs time to work up the courage.
Okay.
I got one. You mind if I tell your the man with food? Okay, this should be actually a pretty short one.
Don't drop
So there was a guy who went to the subway. He was kind of chilling there, and he sees this guy. He's kind of a homeless man. He looks up and he looks at somebody and he goes, "Pig," and he's like, "That guy's kind of an asshole. Why you gonna call that lady a pig?" And then he watches him again. Look up, sees a man walk by. Carrot. Okay, that's odd. So, then, someone else walks by, and he says, pizza. So this guy's like, what the hell is kind of weird? And people keep walking by, and he keeps hearing things. He's like, apple, human, orange. And then he kind of gets up, and he walks over, and the guy looks and goes, bread. And I was like, well, I did have a piece of bread earlier. That's weird. So this guy's like, "Hey, I just kind of noticed. What do you mean when you look at these people, and you say, like these random things?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm actually psychic. I have the ability to look at somebody and see the last they ate." And he's like, "Oh, that's kind of nifty." And then he walks by. He's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. So bread, yeah. So there's bread, there's pig, there's human." Oh shit. That's the story. Some versions he figures it out, some versions he doesn't. Fucking blacks.
Steady hands.
Hey, I did it this time! Keegan, you've had some creepy things happen to you. Tell us one.
Okay, let's see if I can pick the shortest one. So, when I was little, we used to live in a haunted house. We ended up moving out when I was 3 months old because the scariest thing that happened was my sister would wake up in the middle of the night, look at the end of her bed, see somebody standing there. She would adjust her eyes, look again, it would be gone. Wake up in the middle of the night, look again, the person would be standing in the corner of the room. Well, apparently one night she woke up, saw the girl at the end of her bed, rolled back over, not thinking anything about it, pissed off the ghost. Ghost rips off the sheet, grabs her by her ankle, pulls her out of bed, and drags her down the hall. And then just disappears. The next day, my mom decided it's time to move.
Nice. That one, you know, supposedly true. Lois had a candle.
Without spilling wax.
Probably one of the most entertaining things to happen here. Bishop, I know you got something.
Sure. This one isn't about me, but this is supposedly a true story. There was this kid, he was like 10 years old, and he used to freak out every night and call for his parents, and he claimed that he saw this giant hedgehog-looking creature walking out of his closet and going all over his room, but they'd always check his closet, and they'd be like, no, there's nothing, and they make him go out to bed, and every night he'd wake up, he'd see this thing, and he'd freak out. And one day his older brother got to babysit him, and he locked him in his closet, and his brother's freaking out, screaming, let me out, let me out! And finally he gets quiet, and the inside of it, and the closet is empty, and his brother is gone. Never seen again.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that one before. That one's honestly pretty creepy. Pull candle out for that.
Oop. I blew the wax out. Didn't hit myself, though.
That's true. It didn't fail like me.
We all know
Now-
you can blow.
I think it's time to break in the new blood.
Do we have a towel around here? Since
I only
this is
have
dry?
the one story. Does it
Okay.
even count?
Right?
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
This is a UFO story. No, that's whatever. So
Go ahead.
it's not nearly as interesting as you think, but when I was about like 13, 14, me and some of my extended family took a trip onto a houseboat at some really, really big lake. I forget which lake it was, but one night, just on a whim, I decide that I want to sleep on the roof and use a blow-up boat as my air mattress. So I'm sitting there trying to fall asleep, looking up at the stars, and it's like out in the middle of nowhere, so you can literally see like all of the stars. You can see the curvature of the friggin' galaxy. It's awesome. Until I see, in a split second, from one point in the sky to another point in the sky, forming a little line segment, a glowing dot and a glowing ring around it just shoot from one end to the other and disappear, reappear and disappear. Now, I don't know what it could be. It could have been just the way that the in my eyes, but I distinctly remember a glowing dot and a very glowing ring around it, and I couldn't see any stars in between it. I did not sleep that night.
That's creepy.
Speaking of UFOs, I have another one that's supposed to...
Go for it.
So, my grandma told me this story about... She was like 12 or 13. I don't remember exactly what she had, so... I can't tell you for sure, but she told me she used to have something that was incurable. And her and her friend had in fact, she couldn't have been 13 because they were driving. She must have been like 16, 17. But her and her friend, they had gone out that night, and they were driving home, and they was following them. And they were like freaking out because it didn't seem normal. It seemed too close, and it seemed like it was following them, like it wasn't at the same angle from everywhere they were at. And they were getting really worried, and they were freaking out. And she was dropping her friend off. And her friend was like, call me as soon as you get home and let me know you got home safe because this is freaking me out. And so she drives home, and she gets home and she calls her friend, and her friend's freaking out. And she's like, where have you been? She's like, what are you talking about? I just came home. And she lived like a 5-minute drive away. And her friend's like, you've been gone for 2 hours. I haven't heard from you in 2 hours. And she has no idea what happened, where the time went. She's convinced it was aliens and that the moon was talking to her as a UFO. But after that happened, her next checkup, her incurable thing that she had was gone. So she thinks the aliens abducted her and cured her.
Very nice, the aliens.
Yeah.
Blow a candle out for that.
You know what? I would like to go next because he just kind of jogged my memory of a story that
No homo.
I've heard.
Okay.
There was a couple living out in the woods, kind of from everybody. And they're just living out there. Well, they thought that they were kind of lonely, so they would go out and get a pet. So they got a dog. Well, the dog had a habit of going through the fence and wandering through the woods at night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one night the dog got out, so the husband goes looking for the dog. 5-6 hours go by, husband never shows back up. So wife grabs the flashlight, goes out looking. Well, she hears some rustling right outside the fence, so she's like, okay, maybe it was my husband. Says something, rustling stops. So she goes outside, starts looking. She hears, like, a growling, trying to figure out what it is. Shines the light, it's her dog. She's like, oh, okay. Walks in. lets the dog inside the fence. Now she hears another growl behind her. So she turns around, and the light, there's eyes standing above her, staring straight back at her.
Oh, above?
Ooh.
And that's it.
Candle worthy, man. So, Justin and Brittany.
I got one that can actually follow.
Really?
It's one of the short ones.
Okay, great. Let's hear it.
So this man grew up with a bunch of cats and dogs in life, so he's very used to the sounds of scratching at the door. Now it's terrifying because he lives alone.
I remember hearing that one before. That was a good one. That's actually one of the first micro stories that I ended up reading.
Yeah, they're like all liquid, so.
Ooh, I just remembered one, but I can do it after.
Let me piggyback on his real quick, because I got one. And I know, Brittany, you've been quiet for a bit, and we got to get you on here, too. I remember it was a very, let me see if I can tell right. It's a really short one. Guy goes out and he gets a cat from a shelter. And he's like, petting this cat. The cat's happy. And he's like, oh, this is great. But God, I'm so sorry. Because it needs to feed and I got to sacrifice something or it's going to get me. And basically shoves it out the door, closes it, and just hears screeching and terrifying shit.
That one's sad.
Yeah.
Trivial tree request that you make up your own story, Lupus.
Oh, okay. All right, give me a little bit of time then. All right. Brittany, you go.
Okay.
Let's make it more interesting.
Cigarettes
Have
are
them
crushed.
pick like a topic for the story that he has to brainstorm.
That will help. Well, thank you, commenters.
Have them vote on a topic. No. Have them fight for it.
To the death. Brittany, you can't stall.
She's trying so hard. I guess tell a story about my friend. She used to live in a very haunted house. They had this radio, and there would be no one in the room, and it would just play. It would turn itself on and just play music. And it would happen every so often until the mom unplugged it. And then they would still hear the radio playing in the room, all alone.
You had one too, right?
Yeah, I just got reminded of one that I heard a really long time ago. Okay, so there's this girl, and she's got a dog. Her favorite dog, had the dog since childhood, and the way she would always go to sleep is she would let her hand hang off of the bed as the dog would lick her hand.
Oh.
And she would always call it over, would always be really happy, and then it would just lay by the bed. Well, one night she calls the dog doesn't come. But whatever, she's really tired, and she just lays her hand on the edge of the bed. And the dog starts licking her hand. She's like, oh, okay, my dog was just, under the bed. Wakes up in the morning. Her dog is not under the bed. In fact, her dog is in several pieces around the house. That way for over a day.
I've heard that story.
I haven't
as
heard
well.
that version.
I probably
It's
butchered it.
called Drip Drip Bing.
Whatever.
I remember that one. The big tagline is written in the wall in the dog's blood was humans can lick too.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, told you I butchered it.
Okay.
You got the message across.
Yeah.
Did they pick a topic yet, or?
We have pineapples, Russian sleep experiment, and...
Oh, that one! I remember that.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know how pineapples can be scary, but I want
Okay,
to know.
you need to write a creepy story about a Russian sleep experiment that they use pineapples to.
Suppository jokes?
Oh god, no. No.
All right, I will warn you guys. I'm probably gonna be really crappy at making up one, but maybe I could tell you like one of the two things that like happened to me in my life that were really creepy.
Does it involve pineapples?
Oh, you know what? I got one. You guys might not even know this one here. So I hope maybe like these personal stories might make up for that fact.
We've hit over 100.
100 people watching. 100 stories to tell.
Thanks,
I know,
viewers,
right?
for not having a life and watching us instead.
We love you. We do.
Mine actually go a little bit along with the UFO thing, slightly. I can just kind of see it. So this is something I did. I don't remember this. I was a young child, and I was over at the time. Well, before she was my stepmom, but we were over at her house before and all that, and I was sleeping in the living room where there has this giant glass window. I think it's just big glass window. and it was me and my now stepbrother. We're sitting basically like there's one couch that goes along like this, there's another couch here, and then like this side would be the window. So he was on the couch that was directly opposite the window. I was on the one that's on the side. I fell asleep on it. You know, he's kind of up a little bit, just chilling. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, I get up. I stand on the armrest of the couch. I point out the window in my sleep and go, "Come back. Come back. Please come back." And then I face plant on the couch. We never found out what the heck I wanted to come back. I don't remember anything for it at all. But I just know he was scared shitless that night. I think it's Z's turn.
Come on, you gotta tell a story about
At least one. Come on.
Z's turn.
If you need a little bit more time,
No,
I'll
no,
tell one more
later.
story to give you
We'll
one
do that
more
later.
Okay, we'll give Z a
join.
little bit of time. Keegan, tell your story.
So, kind of going off of what Bishop was talking about with the closet. In my old house, I thought it was very funny that I have 3 older sisters, and I lived with my mom and my dad, but I was the only one that had my own room. Well, at night, I would hear what I thought would be my sisters next to me playing around their room. But they would always be falling asleep before me, so I'm trying to figure out noise. So, the next day, I woke up, and I went to go get something out of my closet. Everything was torn down off the shelves. So I'm like, okay, maybe there was an earthquake or something, so I put it all back up. Next night, same noises. Wake up in the morning, everything's off the shelves again. Well, after a couple months of this, we just kind of blow it off and forget about it. And then we take down put up curtains. Well, after we put up the curtains, the noises stopped for a while. Then I was in there talking to my mom about something, which turned into an argument. She started yelling at me. Next thing I know, everything's out of the closet on the floor and the curtains are torn down. Can't figure out why this happened until after we had moved out to find out that there was also another little boy that lived in that house that his parents were involved in a domestic dispute. And that's where he would hide.
Oh.
Ooh.
Blow a candle out, man.
A few viewers are saying they're getting feedback and echoes.
Feedback and echoes?
Oh, from the mic.
Yeah, it might be the positioning of the mic. Bishop, would you mind just pulling a little farther away?
Let's see if that works.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Hopefully you guys can still hear us. I know it's probably, what I'm guessing is we have the mic very close, and it's a strong mic, and in closed space it's probably echoing back. So please, if there's any issues, definitely talk to us. Listen, this is the first, so at the very least I hope you can understand us. But we're going to try to see about fixing some of these as we go.
Also, hardwood floors. That probably doesn't help.
That probably doesn't.
Yeah.
So who's next? All right. Oh, who's this friend you got here?
Hey, Nop Nop.
Nop
Hi.
Nop. Nop Nop is going to tell us the story, huh?
Maybe.
All right. The mic's over there.
Okay. Okay, so there was this guy. He lived an average life, and he was an average guy. So he married a girl, and she was an average lady, and they became an average couple. And they soon had a kid, and they were super happy. It was an average kid, and he had an average life. Another kid came, and still average kid, average life. The third kid came, and life was different for the guy. And he was unhappy, and things didn't feel right. So one day, when his wife went out to work, he fixed the problem. And when she came home, she screamed, and he didn't understand. Because isn't having 2.5 kids average?
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, shit. I was not expecting that out of this. God damn.
That's a good one.
That's dark. Oh my god.
I give you that one. Blow out your candle for that.
You just outdarked all of us.
Good.
Oh my god.
Bravo.
This might be too simple, but I think I got to follow the same line. There's a woman. Oh yeah.
There's still a bit of an echo for a couple people.
Aw.
I'll try centering it a little bit, maybe. That?
It is a very echoey over ones.
Yeah, so we might just maybe just kind of keep it.
Do we have a cushion over there? Maybe we can put them like on the cushion and that can stop
Yeah,
some of
let's
the
try
echoing.
that. Experiment for you guys.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
Also, some people would like you to be a little louder.
Oh, please anybody.
No
No,
yelling.
like I said,
You two.
you guys
What?
are,
I said no
are what
yelling,
keep
you
us
two.
going. So
Well, I mean,
please, we
you can
wanna
always
keep you
turn us
happy.
down more. You can't turn us up past a certain point.
Exactly.
So what? I got one that I'm gonna follow you with. So there's it's actually this woman. She's very proud. She's like, I am a good parent, and she's talking about how she wants to raise her 2 children. One just a small baby, the other one young, probably like 5 or 6. And she is so proud because she taught him to have an inquisitive mind. She taught him about that. It's like why, if he would come and be like, so why is this? Why can't we have the spaghetti? Well, why do you think? Well, it's been in the fridge for a long time, and now it's growing things. It's probably not safe to eat. Exactly, that's good. So he would continue to teach him that way. It's like, they're not going to give him the answer. They're going to let him find it. So one day, his little baby sister gets sick. And he looks at him and goes, why is she sick? And she goes, we don't know at this point. We gotta wait for the doctor. This is one of the things that we don't know yet. He goes, okay. So then she goes off, and she kind of turns out it's really quiet, and she walks in and sees that he took his father's tool bag and decided he wanted to find out why by opening it up. By it, I mean his little sister. To find out what was wrong with her inside.
You're a dick.
This is dark shit, man.
Yeah.
By the way, I've
dark.
lost tell stories to you guys.
Well, we've got candles, so I mean, this is like one big counter, so.
He asked me to, but I've lost track.
Lost track. We have no idea where we're at. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably at about 15 or so. Who else has a story?
14.
Sure, I'll tell another one.
Okay.
This is actually a true experience. It's one of the more recent things I experienced. It was back when I used to work just down the street, and I would walk to work all the time. And there was this house I used to pass by, and there was this old lady who would always be out front, and her dog constantly got away from her, and I would help catch. It looked like she was in her 90s. There was no way she was going down the street for her dog. So pretty regularly on the way to work, I'd have to chase this dog back home for her. And I never really thought anything of it. I never actually saw her handle the dog at all. Didn't think of anything of that at all. And then one day I was passing by, and she was really bruised up. My first assumption was this: she's old, she bruises easily. And she starts talking to me, but she's like crying while she's talking. He doesn't like it when I go outside. I'm like, what? And I thought she was just like babbling at first. And then she puts her hands on my shoulders, and she's like, my husband, he doesn't like it when I go outside. And her blinds open up, and there's no there. And I just freak out and leave. And that was actually the last time I ever saw her, and I didn't coordinate it beforehand. But there was a younger guy I saw there all the time, and he literally just sits out in the garage with it open. But she was never out there with him. And I'd never seen her since that point, so I'm actually kind of convinced she was a ghost too. But I mean, she may have just passed away, but I definitely know her husband was a spirit in the house.
You are so full of shit.
I swear to God that happened to me. I told him that wouldn't happen.
I walked by, and I've kind of seen her drove by, and I've seen her out there, and I could say it's kind of creepy. I can't say oh my god, paranormal, but I'd say kind of creepy. So who else has got to go in? Justin, you got one? Or you said you
Have you told me yet?
You
That's right, yeah.
I
Okay.
have one.
You're next, Justin.
Come on.
There was a boy who was sitting in his room, and he heard his mom call out for him.
I know this one. It's a good one.
So he starts to go downstairs. But then he hears his mom call him from the bedroom saying, "That's not your mom, I'm your mom." But the same exact voice.
That's creepy. Go ahead, okay.
I am not next. Somebody stole my story.
Would you like a smartphone salvation? There's a list of short stories right there.
Story requests if anyone's running out.
Oh, what do we got so far?
We have quite a few. We've got Ona? Squidward suicide.
Ooh, can I tell that one? Squidward suicide.
Go for it.
Yes!
I've never heard this. Please
Neither
go
have
right
I.
ahead.
It's gonna be awesome.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny? In a camp, we do tabletops and all this stuff, and at one point we had to go up against creepy stories and all that,
Oh, smart.
and actually encounter. They had to deal with suicide. The really funny thing was they had a little hacker friend, whom they said, "We don't want to look at this because we're not there. You look at it and take notes."
I was there.
She almost didn't live through it, but there you go.
Well, I don't know what it is. I thought someone can you pull it up? on
Oh,
the phone?
you need to know Squidward suicide?
I don't know.
He wants to
but
tell it, but he doesn't.
I don't know it. I just
Oh.
really liked the title.
Go ahead and bring
I
it
just
up.
really liked the
Yes,
title.
someone bring it up, and he can read something off my list right here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna read a story for this one. My daughter woke me up around 11:50 last night. My wife and I had picked her up from her friend Sally's birthday party, brought her home, and put her to bed. My wife went into the bedroom to read while I fell asleep watching the Braves game. Daddy, she whispered, tugging my shirt sleeve. Guess how old I'm going to be next month? I don't know, beauty, I said as I slept on my glasses. How old? She smiled and held up 4 fingers. It is 7:30 now. My wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them.
Nice. Nice.
The only thing
Stop looking.
this was Squidward suicide is rather long.
Yes, it is.
So unless I can find like a paraphrase version, it would be hard to tell as is. I can tell if you like to hear it.
Fine.
I got one too. I'm just trying to remember how it goes.
Actually, no. Go ahead.
It's gonna take me a minute to remember how it goes.
I have a quick one.
Go ahead and do it. Did you blow your candle?
Yes.
Actually, let
Oh.
me have me read them while they're
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
My little girl keeps me up screaming every night. I keep going to her grave to tell her to stop.
All right. Anybody else got anything at the moment while Ryan reads Squidward suicide?
I can say mine, but I'm probably gonna butcher it because I still can't remember exactly how it goes.
That's okay.
So it goes back to what they were saying about the little girl and their parents. There was a little girl that when she was growing up, she would always come into her parents' room and sleep with the mom whenever she would have a nightmare. So they let this go on for a little bit. Well, one night the little girl comes in and goes to her dad. It's like, hey, I had a nightmare. He's like, well, why don't you go sleep with your mom? And she looks at him, because the thing next to you told me that mommy isn't here anymore.
Oh, I remember that one too. That's a good one.
Do you need more time?
30 seconds.
I don't know how long the story is.
It's
that's
a
why I'm
long
asking.
one.
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys the story of what I think is the reason that I have so much paranormal activity in my life. My grandparents at the time were pregnant with my mom. And my older sister was like 3 or 4 years old. And they used to fool around with Ouija boards all the time. And they got themselves severely haunted. Most of the spirits were pretty friendly. But there was one in particular turning their crosses on the walls upside down and throwing their Ouija boards. And so they eventually decided to move out of the house. One of the really interesting things about it that pretty much confirmed them that they weren't imagining this was that my aunt, that was 3 or 4 at the time, had an imaginary friend that lived in one of the pictures, but they could see.
That's creepy.
You know what? That actually reminds me of a story that you told me that I would like you to tell again.
I will give you my best shot.
The one about you, Bishop, and I believe it was Taryn inside the graveyard with the Ouija board.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I have this is a good one too because the ending.
Transcript from it.
Really? Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot we had the transcript. So, I ended up getting a Ouija board. It's actually one of the few things that I tried before I did that. The Will It Kill Me. And we decided that we were going to take it and we went over to the local cemetery. And we were just like, we'll see what happens. And to be honest, we get there, nothing really goes down. Now, Bishop remembered at one point, off kind of in the middle of this little fielded area, there's no graves around it, but there's 2 really old looking graves. I think he right?
Yeah, I can tell a story about that in a minute if you want.
Well, he had, I'll say you had an encounter there, you can tell the story next. He had an encounter with the story, let's go check out the Ouija board there. So we set it down, we get it going, and it starts moving, but very, very, very weak. It takes it so long to get, to where it needed to go. And a couple things we found out, the name was Miles. And it would, say, I think we asked, how many spirits here went to a number and all that stuff. But me, I'm they gotta be messing with me. Now, they knew that she was buried there, but my mother's actually buried there, but I didn't think that they would know her maiden name. And I figured, okay, this ghost is haunting this graveyard. I think he might be able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out, what's my mom's maiden name? So that's what I asked him, what's my mother's maiden name? Slowly, it goes to J. And then I just say, okay, that's enough. That's good. My mother's maiden name starts with a J. Even if that was... I didn't think that they knew it. And it's a 1 in 26 chance of them to actually go to the right letter. Now, we ended up asking one of the taboo questions, is it dangerous here? It goes, yes. And we asked why. It moves to the letter I. And we immediately closed the session. To end the story, we never ended up using that board again. Because I'm surprisingly creepy enough, I kept it in the trunk of my car. Because I kept a lot of crap in there. So I had the trunk of my car. And at that time, my car leaked. And one of these days, months down the line, I open up the car. And I look in there. I have a lot of the crap in there, like board games and things like that. Cardboard stuff.
Yes, he does.
And I look in there. Fine, all that stuff. Except the Ouija board. It was the only thing that was completely and utterly soaked through and ruined. It was completely water damaged. But there were boxes right next to it. On top of it, everywhere.
Of magic cards.
Yeah, magic cards as well. Nothing else was touched except that board.
Didn't you have video footage of that night that you lost?
Kyle actually had that.
Yeah, he lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell us about the encounter you had.
Oh yeah, so this happened in junior high. I used to have to walk through that cemetery to go to school.
Oh, 1 second.
A viewer in the chat, Patty, is saying she's seeing something behind you. But we haven't determined where from the other viewers yet.
It's a very
Keep an eye on it.
Very good chance we might just be casting shadows too. So
Yeah,
We are in
the
front of a
There
ton of
is
lights.
A Lupus head and the lamp from what I
Pretty head as well.
slightly.
So-
And then when you move your hands like this, it does cast shadows.
But so anyway, so in junior high, I used to have to walk to school, and one day, me and one of my childhood friends were going through, and we saw who we just assumed was one of the tenants at the cemetery, and he was walking up to these 2 graves that I had told him about, and he walks up to them and he lifts them up like a trap door to it. And we were running late, so we didn't check it out immediately, but we went back after school on the way home, and we find a trap door or a key latch or anything. So we're freaking out. So I decided to write down the information on the tombstones and look them up, and they're actually where the cemetery is.
Creepy. Anybody else got anything that's coming to mind? Seems like they got the face that says you got something.
There's a Shrek Fest in chat.
Are you still working on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free.
Yeah, this is also way too long to remember. I'm very sorry.
Well, if you'd like, I can paraphrase
Go ahead.
Creepus.
You've probably read it. If
did that real quick.
No, go right ahead.
So, when you guys requested Squidward Suicide, this is the based version, so keep that in mind. It takes place from an intern that used to work at Nickelodeon, and he was on the SpongeBob show, and they basically would kind of review the episodes. I gotta remember all the details for it too, because I don't know that I read a whole lot, but basically they end up going, okay, we gotta do we're gonna screen it, so we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch it. So they sit down, they put it on, and the title comes up as Squidward's Suicide. And they're like, that's... But, okay, because the animators like to do jokes. Like, they make, little joke titles. And the whole episode goes out with Squidward is practicing his clarinet.
Yes.
And SpongeBob and all that are in the back, and they're like making noise, and he yells at them to stop, and they stop, and he's practicing the clarinet some more. And he goes to, next thing it cuts to a concert, and he goes up there, and he messes up, or like he doesn't play or whatever, and everyone just starts booing him and booing him. Even like SpongeBob is uncharacteristically booing him, and he just like freaking out and crying. So then it cuts back to him in his house, and he's just crying, and he's got these hyper-realistic eyes, and just stare. He's crying, and very slowly you hear a voice that says, "Do it!" And he picks it and blows his head off, very graphically. I think that also at the end of that too, interspace, like they're showing pictures of like dismembered children and things like that, and they never could find once that happened, they're like, "Hey, we're cutting it. What here? This is a sick joke," and they actually gave it to the police, but they could never find, who did it. Who animated it, and they could people that were killed there. But it still haunts that intern to this day.
Yeah, there was a lot more to that text file than what you just said. I wasn't sure what the important parts were.
Yeah.
We have another request. They're saying SCP. Someone specifically is asking 049.
You could probably do that one.
What?
Don't worry, I'll let you know.
He'll look at it.
Okay.
He can tell your story.
Oh yeah. Your progress on the pineapple sleep.
Do you
Russian,
need some help?
Canadian.
I'm gonna go and throw out there. I don't think I'm talented enough to do that one.
The Russian sleep experiment is a story in itself, though.
It'll be a crappy
/ Illuminati.
Illuminati.
Oh god.
Illuminati has everything. Don't worry about that. So you had one, right, Keegan?
Okay. So, going back on family experiences, because my family firmly believes in ghosts and everything. My aunt actually lived out in, if anybody's ever heard of it, Half Moon Bay. And out in Half Moon Bay, there is a very, I guess you could say, popular there that everybody in that area knows about. That is on the bottom of a hillside, underneath a lighthouse that's up on the very top. Well, when this place first got built, it was a place for couples to go together. So, all the time. Well, this became a very popular place for one couple to go to. And this guy actually came back there and he let it leak to the people at the restaurant that he was going to propose to her there. So she goes there, somebody lets it slip to her, so she's in there waiting, he never shows up. So she's in there freaking out. So after a couple hours, she figures she's going to go out on a walk for a beach and see if he comes back. And she goes out for a walk, comes back, and he never shows up. Turns out that he ends up dying in a car crash. Well, apparently she never got over that fact. So it's said that in Half Moon Bay, when it gets really, really foggy and the lighthouse is on, if you go to the top of the hill adjacent where the lighthouse is, you look down at the beach, you can actually see her walking on the beach.
Watch Canada. Yeah, that's been a while.
Uh,
Unless you're ready, Justin. No.
Okay. Well, one day I came home from school, I guess it was kind of early, I'm not sure, but I found my mom walking around the house, putting oil on each of our door frames. And I asked her why. She told me very blatantly, very seriously, to keep the demons out.
That's really creepy too.
Yeah. Because
That's a
apparently
candle.
she's done it to all our houses, and I've never noticed.
Jax requests that I tell you that he said hi.
Hey!
Alright, I think I'm good.
You good? Are you good too, Justin?
I need just another minute.
Okay. Tell us about SCP-049.
Well, SCP-049 is a... What's the exact term for it?
Let's see. Is humanoid in appearance? Is that what
No, I mean like some kind of like unknown being. Is there like some sort of term for that?
I'm just saying, probably unknown being.
Nobody knows what the fuck this thing is. what it looks like is a person wearing a cloak and wearing one of those really long-nosed, creepy doctor masks from like the 18th century. I think it's the 18th century. Plague masks, yeah. Okay, so 15th century. It's not actually a mask, it is actually a part of its body. And what this thing does is people. And until this point, it's pretty docile. It doesn't really do much, it just sort of wanders around. But when it finds somebody, when it's in the mood, what it does, it touches them, which is invariably lethal to humans. And hereafter, those humans are now referred to as SCP-0492. And then it takes out its magic murder bag. Nope, it doesn't say what it's made of or what's in it, but got a bunch of surgery tools, scalpels and whatnot, cuts it open, pours all kinds of chemicals in it, and then sews it back up again until it's in the mood. Well, a certain amount of time later, SCP-0492 will reanimate and have crazy huge adrenaline levels and anger levels and probably reptilian complex, I don't know. Runs around, starts to kill humans aimlessly. The only cure is a shotgun, presumably to the face. Did I get all that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's called Plague Doctor?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Plague Doctor, okay.
Chat would like a reintroduction and a re-explanation.
Oh,
There's new
okay.
people coming in.
Oh, boy.
All right.
We are currently at, let's see,
Hey, how long have we been doing this for?
129 people.
Hey!
Hey!
We are 46 minutes in.
Oh, that's not bad. All right, guys. We'll give you a bit of an introduction again. We are currently performing the Hyako
Don't try to
Monogatari. Monogatari. Otherwise known as 100 Candles or 100 Ghost Stories. The concept is you light 100 candles, which we have done, and you tell a ghost story. When you tell a ghost story, you blow out the candle, and you keep going. You go until all the candles have been blown out, and then something supernatural should happen. At least that's what the Wikipedia...
Presumably we'll all die.
Yes, that's usually the cause.
The entire point of this show.
Again, I have with me Lupus, the owner of the house, which we're going to end up burning down, Z, Brittany, Bishop, Justin, and a new face, Ryan. And we got Tasha over here on tech/comment support. She's been doing a good job, so thanks for keeping that up.
Woo! 26 stories. So
Hey, we're quarter of the way there.
Nice.
Well, like 4 more hours of this.
Are you ready on yours? Alright, I have one right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it off the screen. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were ready. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So Justin Bishop and I have another one too.
Okay. After that, I'll do Kuchisaki Onna, because that was requested.
2-sentence ones, so I love these ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the best.
There's nothing like the sound of a baby's laughter. Unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone.
Also, there's nothing like the sound of a baby's laughter when you're playing PT and you want the damn thing to laugh 3 times. Yeah!
Yeah.
solve that.
I know.
So this
Still don't know how to get out of the
actually-
running portion.
It's okay. We'll tell you later.
This one's actually a classic, but I'm gonna read it off
Oh,
with my
okay.
phone since it happens to be on the screen.
Bishop's got one.
I hate it when my brother Charlie has to go away. My parents constantly try to explain to me how sick he is, that I am lucky for having a brain where all the chemicals flow properly to their destinations like undammed rivers. When I complain about how bored I am without a little brother to play with, they try to make me feel bad by pointing out that his boredom likely far surpasses mine considering he's confined to a dark room in an institution. I always beg for them to give him one last chance. Of course they did at first. Charlie has been back home several times, each shorter in duration than the last. Every time, without fail, it all starts again. With gouged out eyes showing up in his toy chest. My dad's razor found dropped on the baby slide in the park. Mom's vitamins replaced by bits of dishwasher tablets. My parents are hesitant now, using last chances sparingly. They say his disorder makes him charming, makes it easy for him to fake normalcy, and to trick the doctors who care for him into thinking that he's reputation. That I will have to just put up with my boredom if it means staying safe from him. I hate it when Charlie has to go away. It makes me to be good until he's back again.
Good twist. Keegan says he got one.
So I there's a ghost story, but it's not really scary. So
It's still about odd things, so it works.
so my mom, like I said, the ghost had a story that she liked to tell us whenever we go visit my family in the Bay Area. To where there was a lady of the lake that she would only appear when the moon was out. And if you were driving along this lake, there's this little alcove that you can be right next to the lake. And she would pull over and sit there and tell us the story and everything, and she would drive away. Well, one day, we pulled up to the edge of the lake. She's sitting there telling us the story, and we're thinking nothing of it. And then, I believe it was either my dad or my oldest sister, I don't know because they both have the same sense of humor, start saying they see something out on the lake. So we're all sitting there, we're just looking, and a bike messenger goes right by the car, we all freak out.
That's a creepy coincidence. Should we give that to him? Creepy coincidence?
That was funny.
Yeah, okay, we'll give it to you.
Do you have any more, Z?
I'm
Okay.
Dumb one's fine.
A little bit loud, you're quiet. You gotta be,
Yeah, you gotta speak up,
Do you
project.
know you can talk loudly?
Speak through your diaphragm.
Remember that time we were looking for a crossroads out like near Solano College?
Oh, for Sugiura, right?
Yeah. So we passed by that cemetery. I remember being at that cemetery, and I don't remember why. I remember standing in the middle of the graveyard, and I remember movement that's not from me. I remember it was daytime, and then it was nighttime, but I don't remember how I left or how I got there.
That's really creepy.
All the time.
That's a good one. I gave you a candle.
But we still can't figure out how she got
Alright, so
there.
you're gonna tell a request now, right?
Yeah, I know it was requested Kuchisaki Onna. That's one I did a narration for. I'll just give you the basic breakdown of this ghost. Kuchisaki Onna, otherwise known as a split mouth. She is, I mean, there's a few different origin things about it, but essentially what she is a. She looks like a woman. She wears a surgical mask, and she likes to walk up to people, and she'll ask them, "Am I beautiful?"
No.
Ah,
No, you're not.
if you say no, she kills you with a pair of scissors.
You have bad breath, too.
So mean.
Interrupting the
buddy.
story. She kills you. If you say yes, she pulls off her surgical mask, and she goes, "Am I beautiful now?" and reveals her lips have been split up to her ears. And she decides to make yours the same way.
Ooh.
There is a way to avoid her, though. If you give her a meh answer, like you're average, or something along those lines. Apparently, there's also a particular candy that she'd be like, "Oh, candy!" and just walk away.
What if you say you don't know? I can't see your face.
Then face and say, "Oh, you'd be like me."
What if you say real beauty is on the inside?
That'll
Which will
confuse.
probably open you up.
More than
Oh,
likely,
yeah.
yeah.
In general, a lot of these answers will probably lead to Joker face or death.
Mm.
So I got another one that's one of my favorites that a lot of people have probably heard. Probably butcher this one too, but a lot of people you guys probably already know this one is the people with the red eyes.
Red-eyed people.
Or black-eyed
Yeah,
children.
black-eyed children, I know.
Let's
but-
hear about the red-eyed people.
Oh, yeah, dude.
We'll do black-eyed children next.
It might be the same story, but we'll see.
Okay.
So this guy checks into a hotel room, and as he's checking in, the lady at the register is telling him about one of the rooms that is shut. Tells him, "Do not mess with this room. It's completely off limits. It's on we're gonna redo it and make it so we can rent it out to customers again. But do not go towards this room. Don't do anything with this room. Just go to your room and stay the night." So he's okay, whatever. I'm just gonna check in. So as he's walking upstairs, it's this room. Curiosity piques. Somebody remembers what the lady at the front register said, so he just walks by and goes to his room. In the middle of the night, he hears scratching and screaming, and he hears it coming from this room, not knowing what's going on. Well, again, he listens to his voice, just ignores it. The next day, he walks by the room, and everything's fine. Nothing's wrong with the door. There's nothing. from it or nothing, so he just lets it go. He goes out and does his business, comes back in the next day, and it's still in the back of his head. What's going on with this room? Why is it locked? Why is it boarded up? Why can nobody be in this room? So he looks into this room through the keyhole. And in the corner of the room, he sees this little girl sitting there crying. And he just can't figure out, why is this little girl in the room all by herself, and it's boarded up and nobody's allowed to go in here? So after a while, he leaves, goes back to his room. He spends the night, hears the scratching and screaming and everything. Goes back in the morning, and he looks through the keyhole to see if the little girl's still there. He looks through, sees nothing but red. He's like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but okay. Goes down, checks in with the lady at the register, starts talking to her about it. And she's like, oh no, you didn't look in the room, did you? He's like, why? What's wrong? Well, there was a family that was murdered up there. And the scary thing is that they all have red eyes.
I've heard that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Speaking about the red-eyed people, who would like to tell the story of the black-eyed children, or at least their MO?
You're a little busy, so... Yeah, you're very busy, so I guess I'll tell it.
Okay, tell us about black-eyed kids.
Okay, so the deal with black-eyed kids, I don't know if...
Pulled it up is what I was doing.
I was so trying to go ahead.
Well, you could have used your words, Justin. Like a big boy.
Dick 100% of the time.
Look who you're talking to, man.
Alright, we're getting off topic. So, Justin, if you need a little bit more time for the black-eyed kids.
That's fine.
You should do it. I'll probably butcher it anyway.
Alright. I know that there's a few long minutes, so maybe, Justin, you could just give us kind of just like their MO.
I will buy him time.
That works.
This one is short and settling. I just read it. There was no pearly gate. The only reason I knew I was in the cave was because I had just passed the entrance. The rock wall rose behind me, no ceiling in sight. I knew this was it. This was what religion talked about, what man feared. I had just entered the gate to hell. I felt the presence of the cave as if it was a living, breathing creature. The stench of rotten flesh overwhelmed me. Then there was a voice. It came from inside and all around. Welcome. Who are you? I asked, trying to keep my composure. You know, the thing answered. You're the devil. Why me? I've lived as good as I could. The silence took over the space as my words died out. It seemed like an hour went by before the response came. What did you expect? The voice is penetrating but patient. I don't know. I never believed any of this, I uttered. Is that why I'm here? Silence. I continued. They say the greatest trick you ever pulled was convincing the world you didn't exist. No, the greatest trick I ever pulled was convincing the world that there was an alternative. There is no God, I shivered. The cave trembled when the words came. I am God.
Nice. That actually reminds me of a very short one.
Okay, go for it.
We'll see if I can get this right. It's only about a... As they shoveled dirt onto his coffin, the dead man realized with horror what death really was.
I've heard versions of it.
I probably fucked that up, but yeah.
I got one. No, that's alright. I'm probably going to butcher this one too. I think the original title is Sarah O'Brien. So, you heard this before? Justin, you get a look. You hear this one? Or are you going to do this one?
Are you still looking up black-eyed kids?
I can't find a good one to summarize, so I can't.
You can just you can just talk about it.
Yeah, what do the black-eyed kids do?
Yeah, what do they do?
I can't remember as I was looking it up.
Should I do it?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so...
We'll do Sarah O'Brien afterwards. Alright.
Oh, you want to do it now? It's fine.
No, go for it.
Okay. Well, if you ever happen to find yourself walking around at night, or well, even just in the comfort of your own home, there have been many startling reports, and by startling I mean reports on the internet, of these groups of children, usually an older sibling and maybe a younger one, of kids, and they always have black eyes, black on black, no whites, nothing, and they always ask for the same thing. They ask for help. They say they need help. They can't find their mom. They need you to come and help them because they're in trouble.
Or let them in.
Or to let them in because they need help. No one who has ever gone with them has ever told that story. Every story is from someone who got freaked out and ran.
Yeah, that's true. There are no reports at all of anybody who actually did what they Supposedly, it's probably not a good result.
Well, maybe they take you to Fantasyland. Who the hell knows?
Or kill you.
Well, that too.
Did you get a different one, Jesse?
Always one of my favorites.
What is it?
The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07, before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream. As I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open.
Ooh.
Good.
Nice.
Blow an account for that.
Well, I've happened, right?
So,
That'll
Sarah
just never
O'Brien.
get to you faster.
No warning!
Are any of you ready for some more suggestions?
Well, he's gonna tell one real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarah O'Brien. So now in the older days, they they didn't have a lot of the medical stuff to properly pronounce people dead. What they did was a lot of people ended up getting buried alive. So what they would do is they'd set up a little bell system, or like a little hole or something, so that they can kind of actually talk to the person. If the person was alive, they could ring the bell. So if you were buried alive because you got in a coma or something like that, you could just grab the bell, ring it, and just be like, "Hey, let me out, let me out." The guy would be like, "Oh crap! All right, let me get you out of here." So this one time, this graveyard caretaker, he's doing his rounds, and he hears the bell go off, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna head over there. I need to help out whoever's down there." And he looks. This guy's smart. He looks over to the grave of Sarah O'Brien, and he hears a voice saying, "Hey, let me out! Let me out! I'm not dead. Please let me out." "Is your name Sarah O'Brien?" Yes, that's my name." "You died February." Yes, please let me out." "I don't know who you are, but you're not Sarah O'Brien and I'm not letting you out." "Well, what do you mean?" "Because it's November 1st.
Damn.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
That's one of my favorites.
Live is creepy enough.
I did a buried alive ride.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what that is.
It's a
It's,
simulation thing.
it's simulating getting buried alive.
Oh, that sounds
Here, pass this
awful.
to Z. She can read this short story.
I would scream.
It's really short.
It's off.
Yeah, just
Did anybody have one when we get Z set up? Oh, Z, you already set
it's
up.
a really short one.
Alright, Z, read it.
Don't be scared of the monsters, just look for them. Look to your left, to your right, under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet, but never look up. She hates being seen.
Nice.
Roll a candle, Z.
Have you ever heard of Saya in Underworld?
Yeah, I've gotten a few things from Saya. What do we got?
They were talking about.
Yeah, she's honestly, I've gotten quite a few of my items from her. Later game, one I want to do is Sadako's phone number. Now I can just say what that is. 'Cause it's about enigmas and stuff.
Would you like the suggestions first? Though?
Oh yeah, let's see the suggestions
We're getting
first.
quite a list. So we've got Scarecrow or Cemetery from the No Sleep Reddit, Rake, something MLP, The Bride, Seaweed, Cookman, Jeff the Killer, Cell Phone Game, Ronald McDonald House,
Oh, there are so many.
Mind Blown Open, White with Red, Under the Covers, A Mother's Love, Rap Rat, I Used to
I
Be
know
Fearless are the new ones.
Okay,
You know, I actually want to hear Jeff the Killer. I've never actually heard the story
oh
behind
my
it.
gosh.
I've
okay.
never actually heard the story behind him.
I will be absolutely 100% honest. I have not fully read Jeff the Killer. To be honest, I've never really liked Jeff the Killer. I've read the summary, the basic summary. I figured that should be enough here.
I'm like, I know who he is.
So-
I don't know the story.
What? Oh, yeah.
So, Jeff the he was a boy. I think he's like 13 or 14 at the time. Just an average kid. They picked on him a lot. Like, kids picked on him like hell. I know he had an older brother as well that would, like, come in and save him and all that stuff. But at one point, I know it just, like it hits the head. And he ends up going to a party or something along those lines, and they just, like, these bullies just basically all out on him. It's like that time, like, dropping the blood on Carrie. But for this one, I want to say that they end up throwing bleach on his face and burning him. I think they might even cut like his lips open or something like that. But I think the big thing was and burnt, and his skin turned a deep, a pale white, like paper white. His hair turned black, and then from then on, he became essentially this creature. And his whole MO was that you'd be maybe laying in your bed sleeping, and you'd see him just smiling there with a knife. And the last thing you hear before he kills you is, "Go to sleep." Commenters, I hope I did that well enough, but like I said, I haven't
They're
actually...
going wild in chat.
Okay, good. They're probably like, he forgot this part. Because I did.
Keegan Pow says you look like a badass.
Thank you. Alright, has anybody else got anything before we hit some? Because I think I know most of these. You maybe even know some of these. Do you
I
want?
probably do, but I made up
Let's hear
a
one.
very short one.
Let's hear it.
God, now I'm going to forget it. A lady was talking to her husband about how there had been multiple serial killings happening in the neighborhood, and how it looked like it was cannibalistic in nature. And he just goes to her, "I thought you liked it when I cooked you dinner."
Oh, good one.
I actually just remembered one from my childhood.
Okay, but you guys had stuff ready, right? Justin, you look.
Oh no, go for it.
Okay, done.
Okay. This is actually from a book that my dad had when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Pretty much any kid who grew up in the 90s in America probably read this book. I'm sure somebody in the comments knows what it is. Tonight, there's this young woman coming home from work. And she's driving this, long deserted road in the middle of and normally there's no other drivers on this road. But then someone pulls up behind her. Like, after a minute, just starts driving really close to her. And flashes his brights. And then off again. She thinks, okay, maybe I'm going too fast or something, so she slows down. Then he does it again. And then does it again. Again. So, she's freaking out right now. At this point, she thinks he's gonna ram her and, try to do something to her. So she's ready to fight. She just stops the car, gets out, and just is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" At which point he explains to her, "I saw a shadow of someone holding a knife in your back seat, and I was trying to get you to notice him." At which point she looks back behind her car and sees a guy running off into the cornfields carrying a knife. Yeah.
Classic.
Did you guys have one? Because I have a similar one on that one.
All right.
Unless you guys wanted to. I know you were looking.
I'm in no rush, so.
Okay.
No rush.
So, this is a very popular show. I might have heard some other narrators do it, but a woman gets on the subway. She's just trying to get home. She gets on the subway and she sees this man who just walks up, kind of sits down. She's like, "I don't really like this guy. It's just not really feeling all that great." But she also looks over and she sees two men and two big men, and they have a woman sitting in between them. She's just sitting there between. She's like, "Oh, so those two guys must be protecting me. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Maybe they can help me if this guy who just got on is gonna come over and do anything creepy." So the guy, gets on. He looks around, sees the group of three, the two guys, looks at the woman, and moves over to the original woman, the single who was there on her own, and he whispers over to her, "If you know what's good for you, you'll get off with me." So she's panicked. She's like, "Oh God, he's going to kill me. Oh God, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me." Next station comes up, and she's like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And he gets up, and she's just like, "Oh God, please don't kill me." So she gets up, getting up, and she goes with him. And he looks at her and goes, "Oh, thank God. I didn't want to scare you, but I'm a doctor. That was between those two guys. She was dead, and they were propping her up."
Ooh.
Corey is saying that the background noise they've been hearing isn't actually an echo, and Corey is concerned.
I think I hear a TV up there.
Yeah,
I do have a
watching TV
roommate
up there.
and he is upstairs. I don't know if he is
We
watching
do
TV.
have somebody else here, not involved with Lupus Crew. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard
somebody
you.
asked the time. What was it?
What time is it?
It is 8:10.
Oh, we've been at this for
And
a little
then-
over an hour. We're making good progress, though.
43.
43, we're almost halfway there.
And
Nice.
we're at 129 viewers.
Hey!
You want to go ahead and tell your story now?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, time after a long day at work,
Mhm.
walks in the door, looks in the living room, and sees his wife holding their newborn child. He's not sure what scared him more, seeing his dead wife and stillborn child sitting in the living room. Ah, crap! Already.
Or the fact that someone broke into their apartment to place them there.
I hate you.
That's what I was gonna read, but it's okay. I have another.
Blow out the next candle.
Yeah.
Okay,
No homo.
Junior keeps asking about Bubbles, and he's getting very serious about Bubbles.
Oh, you two are adorable.
What's Bubbles?
I have no idea.
Honestly, I don't remember Bubbles.
My bubbles!
Please elaborate.
Yeah, ask it. Okay. Yeah, ask it what Bubbles are. We'll see about maybe.
Alright, we'll get a couple more going while we figure that out. Well, here's another short one.
Some short ones.
A friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked at the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave out a low, raspy up. They didn't answer again. I eventually as a lost cause and head home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand right where I left.
I got a short one here too. I began tucking my son into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement, and I see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me. "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed."
Can I read the one right below it?
Sure. Keegan, did you want to do? You look like.
I'm starting to piece it back together.
Let us know when you got it.
I'm like, it's been at least 10 years since I've heard this one.
What about the gas station?
The gas station.
Go ahead.
Okay. The doctors told the amputee he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for the moments, though, when he felt cold fingers brush across his phantom hand.
Nice.
Who else has one?
Yeah, I have another short one here.
Okay.
This one's actually pretty freaky because it's
It's getting hot.
Okay.
They're getting really loud.
Yeah.
the Moores are having a baby. I glanced up from the table surprised. They got that okay? My husband. Paperwork came in today, so I heard. He lowered his eyes in sorrow. Poor Joanna. She's only 53, I breathed. I down my brow, landing on the cool concrete floor of the bunker. I tried to remind myself to be thankful for this place, this concrete tomb, but it's difficult each day. Perpetuum Technologies, the company that sprung up just in time for the largest nuclear war the world had ever seen, had designed the vault to sustain 1,000 people for as long as it took the surface to eventually be inhabitable. Exactly 1,000 people. Poor Joanna, indeed.
Wow.
I think I may have pieced mine together. It's really short, though.
Okay, that's. I'll do a couple short ones to get through these small candles real quick.
Evidently, other people have heard of Bubbles. It's a creepy process you might want to try Googling.
Okay.
Okay, so this lady went to the supermarket,
Yeah.
and on her way home, she gets on her street, and she sees somebody standing outside of her house. She walks up, and this person turns around, and she recognizes this person. And he walks up to her, he's like, "Whatever you do not go inside the house." So she looks at the house, and somebody comes walking out. Same exact person that just approached her. He's also saying, "No, it's fine. Come into the house. Don't trust him." Now, the scary part about this is that the person that is both of these people is her husband. That's been dead for 15 years.
Ooh.
Is it a Curio Bubbles?
The way they've been saying it, it's fucking Bubbles.
Fucking
Oh,
Bubbles.
good.
It's about Bubbles, though, right? From Powerpuff Girls?
I am not.
That's what I found.
Would you guys like to
I do
do
not
other
wanna imagine
current
her fucking.
suggestions?
Yeah, let's go for it.
We've also got Kagome Kagome,
Hello.
Abandoned by Disney, Hanako Sound of the Toilet, and Daycare.
I'll do Hanako-san because it's a short one. Hanako-san, apparently, alright, first off, Japanese toilets are terrifying, apparently. Just don't go in them because they're terrifying. Actually, if you guys are okay, I got 2 for that. I got the
Yeah, go
Hanako,
for
and
it.
I'll do the red coat or something like that. Hanako-san is supposedly the ghost of a young girl who died and haunts the girls' bathroom in elementary schools. But specifically, I believe it's like the 3rd bathroom down to like the 2nd floor. Now, if you go into the bathroom, and I forgot the exact details, but you knock on that one, ask for Hanako or something along those lines, you'll hear a voice. Now, you can do a couple things from here. One, you can walk away. You're fine if you walk away. You can open the door. And I've heard many different versions of what's behind it. Is you'll see Hanako. You'll see a young girl in there who will look at you and then disappear. Another one is you see the same girl. This time, she kills you. The third is a hand will come out of the toilet and grab you. And again, kill you. The final one, and this is a jump here for me, is you'll see a giant lizard.
Man, Japan is wacky.
I think the third one, or that final one, was more of them mixing the story.
Yeah. The other one I like to tell is, I forgot the exact name of it, but it's like the red coat or something like that. You're sitting in the bathroom, and then you'll hear someone from the next stall ask, would you like red paper or blue paper? If you say red, he'll cut your back. So that you're kind of like a little flap in your back here and blood everywhere. Red. Blue. He'll strangle you till that's the color you turn when you die. There are a couple ways to avoid him, but you gotta be careful. Because if you say any other color besides those 2, the ground will open up and swallow you whole. The only way to sufficiently avoid a death from this thing is to very politely decline. I'm sorry, I'm not in need of any toilet paper.
What if he asked if you fold or wash?
I would assume one would end up with you being cut in half or like folded over.
Oh.
The other one is you get crushed up into a ball.
Mm.
Or as Justin was just pointing out to me, you could be like Jeffy.
Don't ever say I got both.
Or just yes.
That will end badly. Anyone else got anything? Are we figuring out what Bubbles is yet?
Yeah, it's really long.
Alright, how about you look through, you get it down when you're and we'll paraphrase it there.
Yeah, like
Alright,
I can get through red.
Here's another classic right here. My wife was shaking me. I looked around the cabin. The girls must have gone to bed. The fire had burned down to embers. My glass of scotch was still in my hand. Something's tapping. Then I heard it too. I grabbed my axe and lit the lantern. I opened the door expecting a raccoon or a skunk, but instead found a boy of about 10. He stared at me petrified for a moment, then bolted down the path through the woods. I gave chase. He was losing me, but I heard him tumble to the ground. I leapt in rage. Why are you knocking on the porch? I screamed. My uncles told me to, he stammered. I was no longer angry but confused. But why? At the cabin.
Ooh.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
So, how many of the small candles do we have left?
We have 5 left on this side.
Alright, let's go through, let's do some real short ones real quick. Let's knock those out.
Yeah, they're getting hot.
So you want to get some short ones up, Justin?
One moment.
Okay.
I will.
Why
you're
don't you
done?
go ahead and read that top one there, or the one above 6.
When you guys
One
are done, I
above
have one
6?
too.
You want to?
I said when you guys are done, I have one too.
Okay.
I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first, I thought it was the window until I heard it come from the mirror again.
Blow out your candle. Justin, do you have one?
It sounds like you're starting to give a blow all those ones.
Why don't you go ahead and tell your story?
It's kind of one.
Viewers
Ew,
are
an owl.
beginning to hear voices, even more of them now that aren't the echoes from before.
Yeah, and I don't hear him upstairs anymore.
Yeah, neither do I.
Creepy.
Ooh.
So this is one that I put together from 2 different things I've heard. You guys know how you will be sitting there in bed and you'll have a dream floating, and all of a sudden you'll like move in bed, like you fall out of bed, or you'll rotate and you just all of a sudden back in bed. It feels like you fell.
Yeah.
Well, the saying is that is angels that are taking you up in your sleep. but every now and then they, and that's when you have that feeling. Because that's how come you're falling back to Earth. Then there's other people that saying, you know, walking along and all of a sudden you'll trip and there'll be nothing there. That'll be people coming up from the ground trying to get you.
That I can see that thing like the opposite, like devils coming down to drag you to hell.
I've heard that's actually you're tripping over the bodies they let fall.
Jeez.
Do your candle, or do the
I got another one. This one's another like cool psychological one. She'll say her first words. My wife and I have playfully betted on what she'll say first, mama or daddy. I can hear my wife crooning over and over while she feeds her. Mama's little girl, Mama loves you so much. Sometimes she's not even subtle about it. Say, Mama, I don't mind it though. I still believe I'll win. When we first brought her home, she would scream and cry, and nothing my wife would say or do would calm her down. But I knew just how to hold her to help her fall asleep. Our daughter was a daddy's girl. My wife needed all the handicaps she could get. I sit our daughter in her chair, and my wife and I begin babbling like chickens. Mama, Daddy, say Mama, who's Daddy's baby? The gag from our little girl's mouth. Please? What do you want from me? Please, let me go. My wife's smile falls from her face. With a heavy heart, I put the gag back and to scream. I take her back to the room, locking her in and shutting the lights out. When I return, I find my wife crying. It's okay, honey. The next one will be this.
Ooh.
nice.
People would like more hellos.
Hi. Was that enough?
Hi!
Okay.
Does that do anything for you, you filthy whore?
One sentence story and say hi every other word.
How many candles are we down now?
I have. Alright, guys. This is not. I on this one, but this is an introduction of one of the most terrifying characters in a very popular series.
Ooh.
Misa called Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, God
Misa,
damn
the
it.
humble servant.
That was the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. Blow 4 candles.
I love Georgia. Mouth.
It's on the list. It's right there. Misa Jar Jar Binks.
It's actually on the list.
It's on the list.
So does it count?
I don't.
No.
I'm
No,
not
that does not count.
All right. Do you have one? Do you want to do?
We should glue it on him.
Oh, okay.
I
got one.
I
I managed to. Alright.
try to paraphrase bubbles after him.
Okay. Well, let's we'll finish up these lights here. Then we'll do the
I'm gonna
bubble.
get the 3 little ones because they're starting
There's
to
2
go.
over here.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Do you need a second? Or
Here,
you
here, I got another one.
Okay.
Holy!
Justin's doing it.
Get-
Yeah.
You sure?
Raven wants to know if you are an Illuminati. They've been asking the whole time.
Yes.
That proves he's not. You never admit it.
admit it.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Alright. God damn it. Somebody else go!
Okay.
It's okay, Justin. We hate you more.
Give us like a 2-sentence one, Bishop.
This one's like a paragraph. not
Okay,
two
that's
sentences.
fine.
I heard one in bed after just waking up. He grabs his baby's monitor and walks to his desk in his home office. He has his baby on the baby. Wife singing to her. He cracks a smile as he hears his wife go to sleep, when suddenly the front door opens and groceries.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. Thanks.
I have something that happened to my, but it's a little long, so we can wait until.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get to the red candles before
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do
yeah.
it. I got one here.
Did you find it?
You got. All right. Do it.
I enter the empty elevator and push the button for my floor. As the doors close, I feel a hand cover my mouth.
Ooh.
All right. Here's one. Woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago.
Before we go to the next story,
Alright.
is everybody enjoying their Halloween so far?
Yes! Happy Halloween!
Day after, depending where you're watching from.
But the
Happy Day of the
important thing
Dead?
is, we're not dead yet.
Yet. People are hearing
Oh.
voices.
By the way, I do want to say one thing real quick. Viewers, I would like you to know that you are a part of this as well. One of the requirements is you have to have a circle and everybody sits in a circle. Well, you do notice we have a little gap right here. you guys are sitting in. You guys are a part of our circle. So please keep coming with these stories. We'll tell the ones that we can that don't get too long that we know. And yeah, because you're joining us for this too. So, next.
I do have a request from you. I know
Okay.
you know a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf stories.
Oh boy.
Let's see, there's
You are Lupus.
There's
Hey, why don't you tell the winner of your fan stories about how you did this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can paraphrase. I can kind of paraphrase that one if you like. So, all right. So, I'll. Here. So, at the time, there was a brutal murder that happened in my neighborhood. Usually, it doesn't really happen. Nothing really happens over here, but a very brutal killing. Somebody was actually looked like they were mauled by an animal, but they're kind of keeping on the down low. But on edge, especially the new girl that moved in, just last week. So, but kind of fine. I'm like, it's not too bad. We don't have any reports, so I kind of start going out a little bit at night because everybody was a little too creeped out to do that. A couple more, it gets like again another week goes by. I'm getting a little braver. Now, but a month goes by. Nice full big. I'm like, I'm pretty good out here. And then next thing I know, I look over and I see the door open of the new moved in. And this big giant wolf creature moves in and slips inside. I'm like, oh god, kill her. It's gonna freaking kill her. So I bolt over there. But I'm like, I'm like, oh god, what the hell can I do against this thing? I see the place trash. It's torn apart. And then I see it. And it rears up. It bites me like square, like right here. And then I black out. And then I wake up. I'm in the room. I see the new neighbor, and she's looking at me. She's like, hey, how you feeling, Lupus? I'm like, that's not my name, it's David. She's like, no, it's Lupus now, after that. And I look at her, and then I realize her two gold eyes were the wolf that bit me.
I have a werewolf story.
Thank you to that viewer.
Oh, I thought you were going to drink it.
Not a shot, dude.
I have a werewolf story.
Let's hear it.
Shots
had a
coming.
brother. His name was...
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
He's already
That
burnt
doesn't
himself.
count.
I went past him. with
What were you
drinking.
saying?
People think you are in danger.
Legit danger? I'm in legit danger of probably killing myself.
Well, we are
with
doing
this.
a ritual on Halloween night. Who knows what we're inviting in?
Oh, and it's dark and well, the rain went down, but there was rain earlier, and there's supposed to be more
It's
rain.
okay. You're married. Insurance on you by now.
Oh god.
More than likely.
All right. So how many small ones do we have? Oh, just the one.
Just the one.
Who has a?
Splitting your insurance money.
How many are we in now?
After there's 40
We're
of the
over
red.
50. I think we're at 56.
There's 40 red candles,
So
and
we're
we
at
have
40.
one left.
We have 41 left, so we're at 59.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have a real quick one? Get this
You ready?
I had to reboot my phone.
Okay, I have one right here. This is actually another classic. A young boy is sleeping in bed on a usual night. He hears footsteps outside his door and peeks out to see what happens. His door swings open quietly to reveal a murderer carrying the corpses of his parents. After silently propping them up on a chair, he writes something on the wall in blood. Bodies. He then hides under the child's bed. The child is scared beyond belief. He can't read the writing on the wall, and he knows the man is under his bed. His parent, the kidney child, he pretends that he slept through the whole thing and hasn't woken up yet. He as the body is quietly hearing the breaths from under his bed. An hour passes, and his eyes are adjusting more and more to the dark. He tries to make out the words, but it's a struggle. He gasps when he finally makes out the sentence, "I know you're awake," and he feels something shift under his bed.
Shannon would like if you could do a birthday shout out to her friend Jasmine, who is turning 13.
So Shannon would like a shout out to Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, happy birthday, Jasmine! Happy 13th birthday! Ooh, that's a lucky number.
She's a teenager.
Yeah, have fun with that. Sucks.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't
so
that
bad.
By
bad.
the way, since
was-
we're now, what is Bubbles?
Yes.
Yeah, what is Bubbles?
Fine, Jesus.
Oh,
He likes to feel the pain
It's
in
always
his
going out.
hand.
Or did you have a story?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
Okay.
So tell us about Bubbles.
I
Bubbles.
found the correct one, but and it's actually really long, so I'm going to try and paraphrase
Okay.
it. There's a man. He had a little daughter who liked Powerpuff Girls, so he decided to get her something for her birthday. He found this DVD that's not sold anywhere else on eBay, and he bought it for her. And he decided to view it himself before giving it to her, like a proper father should. You buy something off the internet that you don't know what it is. So he looks at it. It has an 18+ rating on it.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, I definitely shouldn't give this to my little girl. So he decides to, before he decides to watch it, he goes and looks and try to find the seller. The seller's gone. He's just gone off eBay.
Okay.
Everything's completely gone. So then he's like, alright, try to watch it. And it's just this, it's a creepy film about Bubbles killing people. She's all gray, and she just kills Professor Utonium,
Plutonium.
that one, and then kills her sister, and then at the end, there's a recording of the seller from eBay, of him dying to Bubbles. He sent it as a warning, but how did he send it? Because he's dead.
Maybe Bubbles sent it.
Yeah.
And it's right behind
And then
him.
he hears a noise coming from his bedroom.
Is it a giggle?
It's a giggle. So he goes and he opens the door, but it's his little girl Lily, and she says, "Had a bad dream." And that's where it ends.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's the one or not, but
I think that's
that one. Does that one work?
Passes to Z. The story it's on is perfect for her.
I will give her a minute to read it.
Yeah.
The one who has been requesting Bubbles says, yes, the fucking Bubbles.
Hey, we got the
Got
right
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Okay, so
Okay.
I've been waiting for the long candles because this is kind of a long story.
Okay.
So I know that my cousin is watching. By the way, she says hi.
Yeah, my dad's watching too, actually.
Oh god,
Oh,
I'm
that's
so
cool.
sorry for all
Yeah.
the cursing and all the stuff. Oh, we're bad role models except for Keegan.
Yes,
I'm
but
not
there was
sorry,
supposed to be
sorry.
a warning of
This being
we're
adult.
vulgar.
This is an adult program with adult language and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're
Viewer
not
discretion
sorry,
is advised.
actually.
Host ate this to when this all started.
So the weird thing about this is I swear this happened. The other people that I swear were in this with me swear that it didn't happen and it is a dream. But I am still 100% positive that it did happen. So I was hanging out with my 3 uncles, older than me, and we went to hang out, just have fun as guys. And we just went around doing something, and we ended up at a cemetery. Now, this old cemetery is completely surrounded by a brick wall. It's at least like 7-8 feet tall, so you cannot see over it. Now, what they told me about this cemetery is that the ghosts would rise from their graves and they'd walk around. You can interact with them as long as you didn't piss them off.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this sounds like fun. Let's go see what we. So we end up going to the graveyard. We're hanging out. Walls all around. There's no way to get in except for the church that's in the into the church, and then there's the door that leads out to the graveyard. So one of us comes up with a great idea that, oh, we can boost over the wall. So my uncle boosts my other uncle. They push me up. He grabs me. We go over the wall. We end up. Oh, we're walking around. We're just walking around, not really seeing anything until we see an actual person. And we're trying to figure out, okay, these are supposed to be spirits. Why are we seeing actual people here? So we're just kind of staying back watching him. It turns out to be the groundskeeper. He's out there by himself. And has a truck by him, but he's not really doing anything with the truck. He's at a grave. And he's just kind of sitting there staring at it. And we can't see what he's doing, but then all of a sudden he starts digging out the grave. And we're like, okay, what is he doing? And as 2 of my uncles are cops, they're kind of thinking, okay, some shady shit's about to go down. So they're just watching him, and after he digs up this grave, he doesn't open the casket or anything. He just throws the shovel in the back of his truck and drives away. So we're like, okay. We walk over there and look at the grave. Nothing special about it. We can't figure out what's going on. So we turn around, look for him. He's gone. No sign of him anywhere. The road he was on dead ends at the wall. Can't figure out where he went. So we don't know what the hell was going on. We're just kind of walking around some more until we start seeing spirits walking around. And we're thinking, okay, they're friendly. We're going to start talking to them. We can't really see anything. Well, to kind of speed up the story, we end up finding ourselves back at the grave where the groundskeeper was that he was digging up. And as we're sitting there looking at the grave, we hear kind of like a low moan behind us. And we turn to see this figure of a woman in a wedding dress staring at us. And of course, I'm trying to figure out what's going on until my youngest uncle actually speaks up and asks, "Is this your grave?" And she said, "Yes." My other uncle asked her, "What happened to you?" And she raises a finger and points at us. So we turn around and see the groundskeeper. At this point, he's like, "You don't belong here. You guys need to leave now." So we're like, "Okay, we'll leave, but can you let us out?" He's like, "Yes, I'll let you out. You just need to get the hell out of here." And we're like, "Okay." So we're going to leave. We're going back to the front of the... to where the church was. We turn around and he's no longer there. We're like, okay, where the hell did he go? Get to the church. We hear a banshee scream. If any of you should know what it is. We turn around to see the groundskeeper ghost form next to his wife, but she's holding his head. And then she starts running towards us. And then it gets to where one of my uncles boosts the other one. They get all over the wall and leave me behind. So I'm sitting there freaking the fuck out. Like, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? I turn around and she's right in my face. After that, everything goes black. And the next thing I know, I'm in a car with them going back home.
That's pretty fucking terrifying. That's
Okay, we've got a few more things. Miss Cupcake would like to know if you like Crunch Bars.
Crunch bars are yummy.
And then they're also requesting a fan meet. A couple of them are.
A what?
A fan meet.
They want to
Oh!
Nice.
They want to meet up with other people and you. And we've got a couple more stories requested. We have Daycare, Don't Let the Cold Man In, Hidden, China Doll Story, Yellow Brick Road, Techie, and I Told You to Smile.
Ooh,
Okay.
that last one sounds
I
good.
still have my roommate's story too.
Okay. I know Z had one though. I'll try to go through my head which ones of those might be good ones to tell.
I'll tell you what, guys. In the fan meet, I will. I'm normally the PR. Some number crunching and try to find a number and maybe do a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Why the
Okay. Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy, so I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy never yelled at me before, and it made me sad, and I cried. Then Mommy told me never to go in the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet.
That sounds exactly like something that might happen to you.
Oh shit.
Just like seeing you come up, be like, oh god, what's that? Here's a cookie. Nom nom.
Of course you would give her a story to read that had cookies.
Request for a round of hellos.
Hello, all the viewers. Let's do a request story. List of the ones you gave, because I know there was one there that I think I can do off the top of my head. At least do a quick version.
Do you want the whole list?
No, the
or
last
just
ones you just said.
Daycare, Don't Let the Cold Man In, Hidden, China Doll Story, Yellow Brick Road, Techie, and I Told You to Smile.
I'll do China Doll because it's a classic. At least kind of a similar one. I'll see if I can do it off the top of my head and make it creepy. So, a little girl through some various means, either like a garage sale or something, and she China Doll. Very lifelike, very pretty. She plays with it and she ends up leaving it downstairs. and she goes up to her room. And then she starts slowly hearing this singing. This sing-song voice. China doll, China doll. And it just, it kind of gets closer, and then she, I believe it starts off with China doll, I'm on the first step. China doll, I'm on the second step. China doll, I'm on the third step. By this time, she freaks out. She runs and she gets her parents, and she's like, "Oh God, I hear this singing. What's going on?" They go down. They check China doll sitting right where she left it downstairs. They're like, "Do you want your room?" She's like, "No, just leave it there." So then she goes back, and then a little bit of time passes, and she hears, "China doll, I'm on the fourth step. China doll, I'm on the." And she ends up getting her parents again. And by this time, they get down there. They see the China doll's again back in its little spot. Like, we don't do this. We got work in the morning. Don't get us again. It's not real. Nothing's crazy. It's a nightmare. So she's terrified at this point. So she goes back to bed. And again, time passes, and she hears, China doll, I'm on the sixth step. China doll, I'm on the seventh step. She's getting freaked out because only about 10 steps from stairs. She wants to get her parents, but she can't. Finally, she moves on. And then it reaches China doll, I'm at the top of the steps. China doll, I'm in the hallway. China doll, I'm in your room. China doll, I'm on your bed. China doll, I got you!
Good job.
I saw you in my peripheral messing around on your phone. I'm like, I got this.
I knew it was coming.
Thank you, viewers, for that awesome opportunity.
And you burned my house down.
It landed in a candle.
There's a reason you have hardwood floor.
There's a reason I moved the carpet.
That.
Because two people have sword wax. And
All right.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, you have a story for your roommate.
Yeah. This allegedly happened to my old roommates. They were, see, my house up in Portland, it's about 100-year-old house. I think it was built in the 20s. I live up in a refurbished attic. It's got one of those really long, or one of those really narrow, very steep stairs. It's old, tons of creaks and bumps in the night. And two of my friends from high school, they their names were John and Brianne. And John's a bit of a skeptic, very, very much into paranormal stuff. I myself am a bit of a skeptic. And I was sitting there talking to him one time. We were out drinking, and they confided in me one time that over the course of like months after they had moved in, sometimes in the dead of night they would feel this really weird weight coming down over the covers as they tried to sleep. It wasn't really a heavy weight, and it really could have just been the covers sort of shifting positions as they moved, but it was a downward motion, and it felt like a hand resting on their shoulder. Always on the shoulder. They didn't really think much of it until they started noticing that when they would come home after work or after going out at night, that things were rearranged. Things would be switched, stuff hung up on the wall would fall down, weird stuff. And they got into contact, they asked the other roommate that lived there, and then got into contact with the person who had lived in the house before them, and they had experienced something similar. And that it had moved on to another person, or another person living in one of the rooms, anytime someone would move out. And then one night, they had one of those drawing mannequins, like you could buy in an art store. And one night, they're not drunk, they're not high or anything, and they see it moving. And I mean moving, like animated. Arms, limbs, just moving wildly. Yes, Natasha?
How do you ban people?
On
What are they
YouTube?
doing?
Go ahead and
They're
continue.
being inappropriate.
Go ahead and continue your story. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Oh, you broke the circle.
Give me 5.
Where's the salt?
The circle.
Okay. So, their drawing mannequin is just moving, limbs very articulate, and they're like by this thing. They almost want to whip out their phones and start recording video of it, but they're afraid to do it because they don't want to look away, and they don't want to just make it stop happening. They move their hands through it. There's no wires, nothing. This freaks them out enough to thinking about it at all because they don't want to give it any more power. Well, about 9 months ago, they moved away. They moved up to Seattle so that John could take over a new branch at his company opening there. And ever since then, every so often, sometimes I feel a hand on my shoulder when I'm trying to sleep. Yeah. I still think it's bullshit, but, who knows?
Justin, do you have one? I think you're looking one up.
Preparing it in my head.
Okay. Well, actually, come back to you.
2.
2?
That works.
I have 2 candles for you.
Good, because we're at 5 in of the 40.
Okay. There's one I'll read and then on one night.
Okay.
So, there once was a man and a woman who had a son that loved his mother. One night the wife found out that her husband had been unfaithful to her. It started a huge fight. The husband hit the wife and killed her. Terrified of what would happen to him, he hid the body. But soon the son would find out and it would break his heart. Days passed and the son never asked where his mother was. It drove the husband crazy, till he finally asked his son, "Aren't you lonely without your mother?" The son said, "But Mom's always standing right next to you." He turned around and his wife was standing there with an evil smile.
I'd be scared of my wife too.
And the other one, I hope I'm remembering it correctly. There was a girl, she was coming home from somewhere, and she decided to take a shortcut through an alley. And in the alley, she saw a pair of guys. They were unsettling, but they left her alone. The next day, she was contacted by the police. Seen her on the cameras, and they found out where she had walked. Turns out the 2 men had killed a girl also that day, right after she walked through the alley. So they talked to her and got more information, and then when they found her, they asked them why they didn't kill her. And they said it was because she had 2 men walking with her.
She had some guardians there. I kind of like that one.
More requests?
I think Justin has one, and then we'll get to some of the requests.
Okay, I fear that I'm going insane. Every now and then, I'll see this gray being walk behind someone. He has no eyes of his own. He'll turn his next victim around, rip out their eyes, and use them as his before staring at me. I always run. I fear that I'm going insane, but more than anything else, I fear that I'm not.
Nice.
Nice. So, give us the requests. I'll pick another one from us.
Okay, we've got Annabelle doll, Robert the doll, and more personal stories they want to hear.
Okay. Let's see.
And this is not a story.
Okay. Did I ever tell the story about how I got grabbed in my sleep?
No.
Not to
Yes.
them.
I don't think you've.
I said it in one other video.
Okay.
I think it was Midnight Man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell it here.
I hear good things about Midnight Man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Twice.
as I said, I don't have many paranormal things happen to me. So when something does, it really sticks out. This one, I am 100% sure happened. People try to tell me it was a muscle spasm, but I'm like, I know that, and I know I was awake, so I'm pretty sure this freaking happened. I was at my parents' house at the time. I was a little younger, and I had a bunk bed. I always slept at the top, and the bottom was actually kind of a couch. No, actually weird stuff with like having things on the bottom. You know, you think that I have a story about that, but I don't. So every once in a while, I'd just wake up, and due to the position and the height of my bunk bed and where my alarm clock was, I'd have to sit up in bed in order to look at it. Usually when I wake up, I like to look at the time. So what I did was I was sleeping, and I just woke up, nothing in particular. I just woke up and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look at the time. So I sat up, I put my hand on my lap, and then I felt something grab my wrist. Just like this way. Now, the weirdest thing I always thought was my reaction to it. Because first I'm just like, what the crap? Confused. And I tugged on it. This is where it got creepy. It tugged back. Like, if you have somebody grabbing you and you're tugging back, it resisted. I went like that. It tried to hold hold. To that point, I screamed. I'm like, oh God, my dad turns the light on. Dave, are you okay? My dad doesn't call me Lupus. And I'm like, something grabbed me. He's like, so it was like just a dream. It was a muscle spasm. But I'm pretty sure a muscle spasm trying to wrench your hand away doesn't yank back. And that one, you too.
She has a story, but she won't tell it.
How many candles do we have left?
33, 31, actually. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, 31.
I guess I'll tell my first ever encounter that I remember at least. It was back when I lived in an apartment, and I heard something outside my window. And I was dismissing it for a while, but I kept hearing something outside, so I decided to look outside to see what it was, if that was an animal or something. And I don't see anything outside, and I start looking around like on the ground and stuff to see if it was like, like a bird or a squirrel or something, and I see a puddle there ripple and a foot leave it. It was one of the freakiest moments of my life because it was the first time I'd ever seen anything supernatural.
Okay.
Ethan believes you were grabbed by a demon.
Oh,
Ooh.
great.
I've got a personal experience story after.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Justin, you got one yet? Okay.
Like, you have heard your name random places.
Yeah, it's true. I heard my name once over here, but I'm not gonna really consider it because I could be just going crazy.
You're
But you
getting
got-
old.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old. Sorry, Dan.
Alright, well, as I said before, I live in a really old house. It's about 190 to 100 years old. And I live in a refurbished attic. Now, there's two weird things about my room. It's basically a room, about this size of this one, but it's got a closet and this weird little trap door that leads into some crawl space that's locked by a padlock. Well, inside of the closet, there's another door that's full-sized, leads into some more crawl space. I took one look in there when I moved in and was like, yep, I'm never going in here. This is weird. I can see spiders. Hell no. Well, it closes and there is a latch with a little knob. But there's also a little spot for a padlock. I never really needed it, but when I'd be trying to sleep, I'd just hear the latch come undone and I'd hear it. And sometimes when I'd look into my closet, I'd see it open when I knew I had closed it not 24 hours before. So I buy a padlock and I lock it up. Now I hear it rattling. Violently.
That's creepy.
You made it angry.
Somebody wanted in and you didn't let them in.
Brittany,
Or they want it out.
got another one yet?
Um,
Trying to kind of point at people that.
I heard that she's not
She
sharing.
won't share it.
Come on, share it.
You work like easy to share it.
Please.
Bishop's got a story up.
Stupid.
We have an response for Tiki Toby.
Tiki Toby?
Why does it sound familiar?
Actually, I believe I did actually. I listened to the narration for it. sorry, but I'm not familiar enough with the story that I think I can tell it properly. I can make an attempt.
You want to try looking it up, and I'll or I'll
Yeah,
do stories
it's gonna
about
take me a second
I'm
to basically
sorry.
like get the gist of Tiki Toby.
Z, I'll tell this one, and then you tell yours, okay?
You have to.
Please.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna tell mine, and then Z will tell hers. This isn't a story. This is me. I'm here. I'm shifting the words that you're reading, altering them from whatever this person wrote. I've been here for a while, for as long as you can remember anyways. Sometimes I'm falling asleep, or whisper urgently in your ear. Do you remember the time that I screamed, throwing panic through you and setting your heart racing? You're wondering who I am. That's only natural. Of course, you already know. I'm you. I'm the real you. I'm the mind that existed here before you stole my body. Before you forgot about being a parasite, I'm the child who looked the wrong way and asked the wrong question, saw the wrong thing. But I'm not so little anymore. You may have forgotten me, but I'm still here. I've always been here. I'm going to get out.
Sounds like a very demented and invisible friend.
Sounds like the plot to
Yeah.
Phantasmagoria 2.
Okay.
Okay, so
One project.
my mom needed a ride for a week because like one of the cars got messed up and I had to pick her up at night. And so I know how to get to the restaurant. I've driven there a bunch of times to pick her up during that week. But then one day I was driving the same route. I didn't do anything else. And I found this road that didn't look. And so it kept going on and on. And I'm like, what's wrong with this road? It doesn't feel normal, right? And so I pull into this gas station. And I'm like, where am I? And this gas station, it's all empty. It's kind of run down. It's dark. I'm like, how do I get out of here? Until I find the right road. And I pick my mom up. She's like, what took you so long? I don't know. I think I got lost. I'm like, you always get lost. But I've taken this route before. It never took me here, and I never saw that gas station again.
Jeez.
Nice.
He travels to
Well,
many
we can't-
places, apparently.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I
Interdimensional
got enough
gas
for Tiki
station.
Toby to do it. Again, I'm really sorry if I completely butcher the story. I'm also going to paraphrase. So, Tiki Toby is, I would say, has a few similarities. I almost say their backstory. Kid, he's been picked on all that. One of the particular thing is I believe he has tics. That's why they call him Tiki Toby. Name's Toby. He'll tick and they'll be like, Tiki Toby, Tiki Toby. I know with him, like he starts seeing like weird things and weird stuff. It all culminates when he sees, and basically Slenderman. He encounters Slenderman. Slenderman essentially kills off his personality, and basically turns him into a proxy, and then sends him off first to kill his drunk. I believe because the dad was a drunk and like beat the wife. He killed the drunk of the dad with a hatchet, and then basically ran off, from the authorities to be one of Slender's big proxies.
Look at me. I don't know this one.
Look at the camera, Lupus.
So Tiki Toby, Slenderman proxy, is still out there, uses hatchets, and he's not himself anymore. Slenderman took that away from him. So
I have another true one, and this one happened with me and Z. Remember that Psych anime?
I forgot about that.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Okay, so it was actually me, Z, and Natasha that's over there, and we had split up, and me and Z had taken the elevator, and we needed to go meet them on the first floor. And we had taken this exact elevator up from the first floor to where we were at.
Oh,
And,
yeah, I remember.
and we took it back down, and it opened up to a dark hallway that did not look like it belonged to the convention center. There was no sound or people around. We panicked, immediately pressed the door close button, went back up, and walked down the stairs instead.
maybe you went to the other world. From
You
the,
you did the elevator game.
There's only 2 floors to that place.
3.
3.
Wait,
Is
we
it-
stopped by another place too. We tried going up and we had some other quiet, dark place.
Yeah, it was really free. We could only get back to the floor we left from.
And there were other people later, no one said anything.
Like,
Remember
we-
they came out
Because
and then-
we used the elevator and it did not take us to creepy places.
Yeah, and it's side elevator. It's not like one
It's
where
a
there was
walk-
like it wasn't like one where there's a door on one side and a door on the
Yeah.
other. It was a single door elevator.
And we used so I don't know where they went.
So I know you guys have said it before, but I want to know the whole story. I don't know how long it is. I know you two, the newspaper people.
The newspaper people. Do you know that?
Is that from your game?
That's from a tabletop.
Oh,
game.
that's from a
okay.
tabletop game. It's one that I can learn that. It's still a creepy story. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
you know,
it's
yeah,
a well-written
sure.
story. It's from a tabletop game. In case any of you are interested in playing it, called Don't Rest Your Head, and it's about a nightmare world that exists in between the world we're in, and it's the world that you go to when you wake up and finally realize the world that you live in is not real. And
Did you blow out a candle for the elevator story?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
There are these people that are called paper boys, and what they do is they write rumors about you, and anything they write about you will become true. One of the really disturbing facts about them, though, is they're called paper boys not just because they write the newspaper about you, but because they are made of thin and they are razor sharp and can cut you in half with their own bodies.
World's worst paper cut.
I know that like more of the stronger the headlines. So
Yeah.
Eventually they can just be like, so and
Correct.
so has died.
Yeah, he's correct on that. So one of the ways they work is one of them writes a rumor about you. It's gonna be something simple like, you know, he grew a wart, and then you'll get a wart. But if a bunch of them get together about you, they can make anything happen.
That's canon. Just you got one? Want to tell?
Yes, I did. I had to find one.
It's James. It's fine.
Okay. Let's see. We got one that we can tell where you're looking. Or just gonna be real quick.
We are currently 2 hours in with 138 viewers.
Nice.
Hello, people we haven't said hi to yet.
Hello.
Hey!
We
Yeah,
have we're 14 and we have 24 left.
Yes, we have 24.
Ooh, we're on the last quarter.
Alright. So, when you are admitted to a hospital, they place on your wrist a white wristband with your name on it. There are other different colored wristbands which symbolize other things. The red wristbands are placed on dead people. There was one surgeon who worked on a night shift in the school hospital. He had just finished an operation and was on his way to the base. He entered into the elevator, or just one other person there. He casually chatted with the woman while the elevator descended. When the elevator door opened, another woman was about to enter. When the doctor slammed the close button and punched the button to the highest floor. Surprised, the woman asked, "Why didn't you let her in?" The doctor said, "That was the woman I just operated on. She died while I was doing the operation. Didn't you see the red wristband she was wearing?" The lady smiles. "Oh."
I always love this story. Okay. I think I just came up with one about a pineapple.
Oh no, it took
All right,
forever.
let's
Here we
hear
go.
the pineapple story.
It might not be candle worthy, but we'll
This is the pineapple story for you. Sorry I couldn't make it up, but thank you for coming in, Ryan.
Yeah, for anyone who joined us, somebody requested that he come up with a story about a pineapple, and something just came to me.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, so there's a single mom, and she's got two kids, an older daughter and a younger son. And the younger son, you know, he's got some behavioral problems. He doesn't play well with others, but you know, he finds a lot of peace and a lot of satisfaction in, you know, learning to do things. He's a very smart kid. You know, and mom, of course, you know, has to do a lot of the cooking, so and he really likes to help her out. And one day he gets really into you know, cutting vegetables into like really interesting shapes, like turning tomatoes into roses, and he can do it really, really well for a boy his age. And one day he finds a video on YouTube and is like, Mom, I want to look at this pineapple. I want to see if I can do that. And mom's like, oh yeah, that's great. I'll I'll go get, the store. And he's like, no, I want to do it now. And he starts throwing this massive tantrum. And the mom's had so she's like, you know what? Okay, I'll run to the store around the corner and I'll bring you back a pineapple. I'll just get you to shut the hell up. So she goes to the grocery store, picks up a pineapple and pretty good size. And she comes back to find her older daughter's skull in the cut pineapple from the YouTube video. And the little boy's saying, "Oh, it's okay, Mom, I don't need a pineapple anymore."
It's a good one.
Thank you.
We should probably blow that one out next.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Are you ready for more requests?
Yeah, give me your request. I'll do the next one.
Okay, we've got nice guy, school psychologist, Black and Jack, Tulpa Sybil, I'm not sure what that is.
Tulpa? I'll do Tulpa.
Japanese scarecrow, piggyback feathers, and my favorite, and multiple people asking for it, the Raven.
Ooh.
We should get you in on this. You should tell us.
Justin,
I think
he's the Edgar Allan Poe expert.
I think the Raven might be a little bit too long. I mean,
Nah, if you recite it quickly, it's not too long.
Yeah.
I believe in Justin. He can probably tell it pretty fast.
He knows who's that.
You can go ahead and do that request, and then he'll bring up the Raven while you do it.
okay, I'll do Tulpa. I kind of know Tulpa. I know the ending gets a little weird, so I'm probably brush over that. But so there's a kid, and he's like the typical, getting out of high school and all that stuff. He needs money for a car and all that stuff. So what he ends up doing is he sees an ad for scientific, subjects for a scientific experiment. So he's like, sure, I can do that. What are you gonna do? Turn me into a mutant or something? So he goes over there, he talks to them, and they're like, yeah, what we're actually trying to measure is what's called a tulpa. And it's when you imagine another self of yourself. And it's basically, certain group, religions and all, I believe, have, details around a certain. Like, we want to see if there's actually an effect with this. So so they kind of start training him to imagine this other person, and that's kind of difficult. He's got to keep it focused. Like, he's trying to do random things while keeping this image in his head of another him. So eventually, he actually gets kind of good at it. He can kind of summon it and let it go, summon it, let it go, and then he actually kind of starts talking to it. They just have conversations and everything. And then one time he's having a conversation, hey, remember that time when I dated that one girl? Yeah, she was really cool. Yeah, she had that really nice blue dress. And he goes, it was a yellow dress, right? He's like, yellow? Wait, did you just correct me? So he goes, the doctor's like, this thing just corrected me. He's like, oh yes, it's actually accessing a part of your subconscious. So you're actually taking your subconscious, giving it form, to it. And it's like, all right, cool. But eventually, it starts getting stranger and stranger. It starts taking on a bit of its mind of its own. It starts getting darker. It starts kind of changing, becoming more menacing, creepier, scarier. And from there, just like he starts telling them terrible things, saying all this creepy ass stuff. And then he goes and talks to the doctor about it. And what they end up doing, apparently they lock him up. They strap him down, lock him down, perform all sorts of weird things on him. And eventually, one of the last days that they have him locked down, his double walks up to him and says, I don't need you anymore. You remember your sister? I'm gonna kill her. And he talks about basically how his sister. So next day, so he basically just goes, oh God, what have I done? I can't do this thing. How do I get rid of this thing? The next day he wakes up outside. The experiment people are gone. It's like they never were there. The call that his sister was brutally killed. And he's like, oh God, this thing is going to go after my family, go after everyone I've ever known. And I have no way of stopping it. It's like, I created this thing, and now it's out there. And it's going to kill everybody I ever loved.
A coworker of mine showed that to me on a Tumblr post about a year ago.
Mm-hmm. I probably am doing a lot of so if I don't get it right, I know I'm going to probably butcher them, but at least try to get the gist of it.
Yeah, he was an idiot. He thought it was real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was really dumb.
Justin, do you have the Raven up?
Not ready.
Okay. Do you have one that you want to do? Really?
Not yet.
Bishop or Keegan, you guys haven't gone in a while.
I'm trying to think of more personal ones because I know that best.
Okay, I'll get more
Okay.
personal stuff.
Okay.
So for those of you, the house is haunted. It's nothing sinister or anything like that, but we actually discovered that you can only see the spirit if you spend the night in my house. And a friend of mine actually noticed it long before I did, and we always were like, "You're dumb, shut up, leave us alone." Like, we never believed him because it anything or really brought attention to itself. And one night, it was actually on Halloween. A bunch of my friends spent the night, and we in my closet, and it was slowly leaving the closet and coming into the room. It was freaking us out, and everyone like jumped onto my bed with me because it was sleeping on the floor near the closet door. And so we would turn the lights on, and then he would disappear, and then we would see the shape of a dog on the roof from our house being cast in my room. And we moved stuff around. There was nothing casting the shadow, so we don't know what was causing it. And anytime we turn that light back off, back in the closet and start coming back at us again and again. Aside from that, the only things it really does is turn the closet light on and off. That room doesn't even get used anymore, but I will walk into my bedroom, which is right next to it, and see the closet light on occasion, and no one had been in there all day. It also will occasionally open up the garage door while I'm in the garage, and sometimes when no one's in the garage, and then you'll hear my parents arguing about one of them leaving the garage door open when it was probably the spirit that did it.
Oh, interesting. Go to Camo. So they a little more time?
That's a lot longer than I remember.
It's honestly
Yeah, it's
pretty.
a whole story, dude.
That's why I think, unfortunately, it might be a little
There
too.
are some that are literally just one.
True, but this is the Raven we're talking about.
Deep into that darkness very long, I stood there wondering, weary, doubting, dreaming dreams that no man had ever dreamt before.
Yeah, I think that one might be a bit too long for what we're doing.
Oh, well, another time.
But I will find another Edgar Allan Poe poem to do.
That sounds good.
He's
How
the
long
man.
is Telltale Heart?
Thank you. That is my
Hearts?
favorite.
That's a pretty long story.
Yeah, it's actually very
Yeah.
long.
Yes,
Remember
it's
His-
long.
He needs to find a poem in order to cut it short. Telltale Heart's a short story, so it's going to be longer.
You can't.
If you guys would like, I know one of the questions you guys wanted me to make up a story. I had a story in my head that I honestly for the Creepypasta Network was doing a Halloween themed writing contest, and I wasn't able to get it down, but I did have an idea in my head. One of the prompts was you're coming out of a horror movie, like a classic horror movie with like your significant other or whatnot, and then something happens. I had an idea for that. It's not at all polished, so if this story sucks, I'm sorry, but I could try to tell that one. I had kind of an idea in my head for that. Would you guys like that? Would you guys like that?
Yeah.
Alright.
They're still saying to do the Raven.
There's a
Oh,
delay,
God.
so they're not going to respond to you for a moment.
So, it's a boy and a girl. They just got out of a horror movie, and they're having a good time. You know, they're just like, "Oh, shit, it's scary. It's awesome." He's like, "Yeah, man, but I'm not scared of nothing." So they're walking, and they decide to take this dark alleyway. And suddenly, as they go down, the girl screams out as something yanks her back, and he turns to see a man in like one of those creepy Halloween masks, like very like Michael Myers, Jason setup. Takes a knife and slits her throat in front of him. He tries to run, but he only gets about to the other end of the alley before he's grabbed, thrown on the ground, and stabbed. And he blacks out. And then he's outside of the movie, and his girlfriend is just chatting away, and he's like, "Did we just die? We just died." So then, he's confused, but he's like, "Oh God, I'm alive." And then they end up in the same alley, and he looks back, grabbed, yanked back, throat slit. He tries to run from that same man, that mask, grabbed, stabbed, and then he wakes up again outside the movie theater, and he tries to convince her the next time not to, but for some reason he just is drawn through it. Turns, runs, stabbed, and as he falls and the light leaves his eyes again, he looks up and he realizes, "Oh God, I found my hell and I'm in it." Because as he looks off into the sky, he can see what appears to be an audience in a movie theater looking at him. We did. I hope that worked out for everybody. Give me my candle.
We're getting a lot of requests for either of the Jack stories and a lot for the rake.
The rake.
I remember.
Eyeless Jack or is it Eyeless? I'm saying Eyeless and Laughing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and Candle Cove.
I think I could do. I don't know.
One moment, we have beeping.
What's beeping?
Turn off their phone.
That's not a phone. That sounds like
Think battery dying?
yeah. That sounds like a warning on one of the techie things over there.
It's on the ground over on top of the water.
Oh,
It is a phone.
that's my iPod.
Oh, good
I
job.
don't know why my alarm is set.
I can do the rake.
Wait. Did you set your alarm or did you not set your alarm?
I didn't set my alarm.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, creepy.
Well, I mean,
You wanna do the
I had
rake?
to wake up at 9.
The
Let's see
rake.
if I can find
The rake's kind of long, so you might have to look through and just kind of paraphrase it. You just want to give me a rundown of the creature.
While she does that, you know the Jack stories,
I'll do
right?
Eyeless Jack. I kind of know Eyeless Jack. Eyeless Jack. That's a story where there's a. Let's see. I gotta remember all the details for it. I'm probably gonna butcher. I haven't read it a little bit, but I do know the gist of it. It's a guy. You know, he moves into a house with his brother, and they're kind of chilling. And I remember the biggest part of it was. Let's see. I believe. Oh God, I gotta remember the details for it. I'm sorry. It's been so long.
Right, anyone else have a story to tell right now?
While you're doing that, it's actually gotten really dark on stream.
Well, probably the lack of candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we all huddle closer to the flames?
Could probably spread them out a little bit.
I mean,
That's a
if
good
we
idea,
want,
too.
I can turn the flashlight on my phone and put it behind you guys. That's
No,
much better.
that's supposed to have other lights.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, YouTube, I'm really sorry about this, but
It's gonna get darker.
it's gonna get darker because we can't. I mean, we have a little bit of light because we're not supposed to, but from like the other stuff and other things there. But the unfortunate matter is we're not supposed to have any other lights, at least as much as we can.
There, that should help a little bit.
Yeah.
So as we get darker, but hopefully something else will come from it. Let me try Eyeless Jack again. All right, so kid moves in eventually, and I remember that he ends up like in the hall, seeing this being like hunched over eating something, and he freaks out, and then the thing looks away. And he looks down and he sees what looks to be like a human organ, like a kidney or something like that. So he's freaked the fuck out, tells the police and all that and everything. Well, then he ends up going to sleep and wakes up to see the same thing over him, like in the bed. He's able to grab his camera and actually snap a photo of it. And it looks like this weird black figure with a white face with black holes of his eyes that are dripping this black goo. And he attempts to, he basically, able to kind of fight him off enough, and then runs away. He runs out in the woods, like near to the house, or passing out. He wakes up and he sees that he has like a cut on his side, like a surgical thing. And he talks to the doctor about it. He's like, God, what happened? He's like, oh God, I'm sorry, but your kidney's missing, and your brother's dead. Actually, no, I think I mixed that up. I think he woke up with that because that's what the thing was eating there. But Eyeless Jack, he basically let people sleep and eat your organs. I apologize, YouTube. I believe I just Jack, and I know I did that narration before. But that's the gist of it. Anyone else got a story?
I could probably do the rake.
Okay.
And I can actually read it, it's not that long.
Okay.
This is from 2006.
Okay.
3 years ago, I just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. I was exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband went up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him I thought. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly, his knee almost knocked me out. He then grabbed something. After adjusting to the dark for a half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man, or a large, hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked in the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me, turning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed, and crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed, less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while. Just looking at my husband. Then the creature placed its hand on its knee and ran in the hallway, leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about to. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter Clara. The creature ran while my husband and I rushed to our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the rake." My husband drove his car in the lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. He did not survive.
That's just
Something like drip or something into that candle.
maybe it's blood from the ceiling.
And seriously, I saw something drip into it, and that's what that little.
Yeah, I
Blood
heard it.
candle? Yeah.
Maybe it was a spider.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I really hope it was.
If
I
there's
don't
a
like
spider in the
spiders.
candle.
Does anybody else have a good story?
I accidentally commented with the building.
With what?
Literally.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
Now you're gonna.
You already
get
know my
murdered.
idea. It's like they already know I'm naked.
I did have a story, but then I realized that it's actually a movie.
okay.
That's what I was doing on my phone. I was looking it up, and it was a movie.
You're like, oh, I
That
remember that
doesn't
movie.
count.
I know. In case anybody wanted to know.
Give me some
Pulse,
suggestions.
Pulse.
Or
I was trying to think of the creepy stories I was talking to you about writing in this tell one, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right
We've
now.
got the other Jack, Zolgo, Russian sleep experiment still.
The Russian sleep experiment is really long.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's really long.
There's also I Have Thin Walls and
God.
Tails Doll.
Oh, Tails doll. You almost used
I'll do
Tails doll.
Tails doll. I think I Have Thin Walls sounds so familiar. Somebody look up I Have Thin Walls, because I believe it's very short.
Oh,
I
and
have-
Daycare's been one that they've been saying.
I have
I
thin
don't think I read Daycare. Yeah, look up on Thin
Oh,
Walls.
and also Abandoned by Disney's another one they've been mentioning. all the
Okay.
time.
I can kind of do
Oh,
breakdowns
it's a
on.
no sleep.
Let's see, I think I can break down Abandoned by Disney, but it takes it's build up with it that just kind of forms this story. I'll try doing Abandoned by
Do you need time?
Disney. So
Oh yeah, there's a lot of build up.
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of build up.
Might
He
be a
does.
better one to do a
Yeah.
narrative.
Do you need time to do that one? I can tell a story.
Oh yeah, go for a
Yes,
story.
please
Yeah,
do.
go
Be
ahead.
quiet.
Okay, so this happened a long time ago when I was still living in Alaska. So
Mhm.
I was a little kid. I'm watching TV. It was closer to Christmas, and the lights went out. And I was in the middle of watching this show, and I really wanted to know what happened, but I wasn't gonna, because that blackout lasted a while. My mom came out with candles, and whatever. The night it was over, and then the next day was a normal day, and then it showed up again, the same cartoon, and like, okay, I'll find out what happens at the end. The lights cut out at the same time. It cut off at the same part where I really wanted to know what happened, and then my mom came out with the candles again, but she said the same things over and over again, like the last night. Didn't you already do this? I'm like, the blackout already happened. Why is it happening again? My mom was like, wait, what? This is the first time I blacked out this week. Am I remembering it wrong? No, okay, so night over. Next day, same cartoon. At the same time, blackout. Mom comes out with candles again. I'm like, why does this happen every night? I'm like, what are you talking about? My mom doesn't remember this at all. Every time I ask, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's
Your
creepy.
parents hate you.
Blow the candle for that.
She told us about it.
The other request was Tails doll, right? I'll another Tails doll real quick. Tails doll is pretty short and sweet.
Especially since you're gonna use a Tails doll one night.
I already did Tails doll. I've done Tails doll. The Tails doll, for those that you don't know, it's based off the character from Sonic the Hedgehog Tails. There is a racing game called Sonic R. And to be honest, I played it. It's not very good. The controls were terrible. But there is a character in it that is Tails doll. And what it is, it's basically like a doll of Tails. It has a little, almost like a little mogul thing that hangs up that has a red gem on it. And basically it just floats around. That's how it races. And it just kind of creepy because it just seems so lifeless. It just floats along. Now, supposedly, if you were to play Sonic R as the Tails doll, and if you play the little tag mode and you tag certain characters in a particular order, the screen will cut to pictures of the Tails doll on a red and white checkerboard. And then some say that the Tails doll will then appear and kill you. Others say it's a lot slower. Like you'll start bad luck, you'll start seeing little notes for you, and then he'll come kill everyone you ever loved and then kill you. There's also other versions where if you listen to a big song, Can You Feel the Sunshine, which is the level you're supposed to do on where it plays in the background, you hear that. Or if you play that song backwards in the bathroom, you see a red gem appear in the mirror, which is a little thing that he has, and then he comes and kills you. Take a look on Google Images. This would be like Tails doll. You see a lot of artist renditions of this really creepy looking doll. It's very intriguing, but I did a will it kill me for it, and so far it didn't come and try to kill me. But maybe he's just waiting after we blow all the candles.
That's how this game ends.
Man, if it's Tails doll that comes and kills us, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I'm gonna be pissed.
I was thinking something
cooler.
cooler.
A lot of requests for hash slinging slasher.
Oh god, I know.
No.
Oh
God.
no.
What's that?
We already did Squidward Suicide.
It's from SpongeBob.
Yes, it is.
I actually don't know that one.
You don't want
It's
to
not even very good.
It's a scary story that Squidward made up for SpongeBob.
It's an in
to scare him
story.
Oh,
Yeah.
because they were
okay.
working a night shift for the very first night, and SpongeBob was being annoying, so he made it up to scare the shit out of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So who else has a story?
I have thin balls.
I got something that happened to my mom and uncle.
Okay, we'll do Thin Walls first. And then
Okay.
do it. It's pretty short, right? Oh, no, it's not.
Decent. It's
Uh,
also... For some reason my phone squishes it.
quickly?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, then I'll leave it to you. I have thin walls.
Why do I always tell myself I'll be in bed by midnight? Before I know it, 3 a.m. has come and gone. You never notice how tired you are until you look away from the computer screen and look at the clock. Tonight it was 3:14 when I checked the time on my phone. I've been watching TV shows for the last 4 hours. My walls are thin, so I use headphones after 10. Well, if you've ever worn headphones for a while, you know how uncomfortable your ears become. When you take them off, it's a very special feeling, a very enjoyable one. No different. I decided it was time to finally sleep and stop the video player on my computer. I heard voices. It was these goddamn thin walls. Every night I could hear my neighbors talking. Sometimes I would even hear them having sex. They start work at 4 a.m., so they're up by 2 a.m., going about their business. I hate the muffled voices. I'm a pretty late sleeper. The really annoying part is never being able to distinguish what is being said. There are actually studies that show that quiet but indistinguishable speech is more distracting than louder but clear speech. Every night I'd hear them talk and talk and talk, and it was all muffled. Tonight was no different. I heard their damn muffled voices through the headphones even. I was definitely going to have to talk with them. They don't want me blasting music during the day when they sleep. They're going to have to shut up at night when I sleep. I seriously considered sleeping with the headphones on and drown out something. But like I said, your ears become uncomfortable. With this particular set, my ears were becoming sweaty, red, and sore. Yeah, they're not the best fare. I started taking them off and trying to fall asleep. I fear I take some Dramamine. Yeah. To sleep through this well, may as well get on with it. I took off the headphones and started up to get the meds and some water. And that's when I noticed my neighbors stopped talking. It was actually silent. I figured maybe they left for work. After all, it was 3:20 now. I was ecstatic. I hated taking meds to sleep. I grabbed some water and bed. I was about to shut off my computer when I heard them talking again. Much quieter this time. There was no doubt about it. I heard that what was definitely people talking. This was really aggravating. I got up again to grab the meds, and as I walked to my medicine cabinet, they stopped talking again. Whatever, I figured the whole situation made me far too riled up to sleep peacefully anyway. As I walked back towards my bed, I listened carefully to see if those assholes were chatting again. Like clockwork, they did. The closer I got to my bed, the louder they got. Made sense since the wall my bed was near was the wall I shared with them. I grabbed my laptop to finally turn off and plug the headphones. The talking ceased. It was a really painful and horrible realization at that point. Tonight was not like every other night. It was Sunday, and they don't work on Sundays. I know because I always have a good night's rest on these days. My neighbors were sound asleep next door. For open browser or something. I figured I left the video up. There was nothing. Every program was closed. I was freaking out a bit, but decided to be sure I plugged my headphones back in. I immediately dropped my laptop. I heard people talking, ever so faintly, and the sounds were clearly coming from my headphones. Wide-eyed, I picked up my computer and frantically searched for the cause. I figured it was a virus. I opened my task manager to find the responsible program, yet nothing was amiss. My heart was racing, but curiosity got the better of me. I picked up my headphones and put them on. I wanted to scream because the entire night, those muffled voices were coming from my headphones and not from my neighbors. I tried to but I couldn't. That's when my screen flickered. My browser opened and redirected itself to a website. At least I think it was a website. The address bar was clicking on it, nothing happened. As the website loaded up, the voices became more clear. I could hear multiple people talking. There was two. He doesn't know yet, one said. He will in a little bit. Give it time, said another. I think he's catching on. He'll have no choice. Curiosity always gets the better of humans. The palms of my hand were dripping in sweat, shaking and uncontrollable. The rest of me was frozen in fear. Now! Start it now! That's when the screen flickered. A video began and I almost screamed. Staring back at me was my face. A face at first I thought was my own, but no, it wasn't mine. It was somebody else's. We see you, said one of the voices. I didn't know what to do at this point. We see you. You can respond. Are you talking to me right now? I responded as I was trembling, barely able to put together a coherent sentence. Yes, we see you. And when he realizes he hears us all, we will all see him. He will see someone else. Do you understand now? I didn't know what to say. To run, to cry. I muttered quietly. I. Look at him. What do you see? One of the voices said. I see his face, I responded. He's staring at something. It looks like he's staring right at me. Can he see me? No, said a voice. He can only hear you. The person on my screen kept staring at me, intently. I looked closely at his eyes. They were moving side to side. It looked like he was reading something. Crap. There it is. He can hear me, I said. I don't know if he can hear you yet. The person was wearing headphones like I was. I can only assume they too thought nothing of random muffled voices. Maybe they also had thin walls. Maybe they were listening to something else and didn't notice the strange ambient sound. Maybe he didn't have his volume all the way up like I had. Or too engrossed in whatever he was reading. I don't know. We can't see him yet, said one of the voices. We can only see you. Can you tell us when he finally where the voices are coming from? He doesn't know yet, I said. He will, in a little bit. Give it time, said one of the voices. I think he's catching.
That's creepy. It's good. Good request.
So I got one. I found it online.
Okay. I know Ryan, you had a story first though.
Yeah.
So let's do Ryan, and then we'll do yours.
This is a told me by my mom. I think when I was a little kid. Might have been trying to scare me. I don't know. I've never really thought to ask her about it. But before I was born, my mom and her younger brother were in a really bad car accident. Almost killed my uncle. And my mom walked away fine. She had just like a concussion. But my uncle was in bad shape. I don't think he suffered any brain damage, but he was just absolutely delirious. And he was, according to my mom, he was spouting off all kinds of crazy things, saying that he saw fire, brimstones, demons everywhere, pulling him under. And he kept shouting these things until they sedated him. And after he came out of his surgery, my mom talked to him, and he was like, yeah, I kept seeing the weirdest things. I don't explain it, but it was one of the scariest things I'd ever seen in my life. That's what my uncle said. But 6 months later, I tried to bring it up with him, didn't remember. And to this day, he has no recollection of even that or the accident. Yeah.
Dean?
Okay, so I found this one online, and I agreed because I know a lot of people that are scared of clowns.
Ugh. You bastard. That's a circus, dumbass.
Clowns and circus go together.
Yeah, but no, circuses themselves are scary.
That was scary.
Scary when you're about like 7 or 8, which is when I saw that.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you can have your story.
Oh, yes. We're off. Yeah, off topic. Let's go back to Keegan's.
Yes, they float.
So a
Remember?
girl in her teens is babysitting a family in Newport Beach. The family is wealthy and has a very large house. You know, the sort of ridiculous amount of rooms. Anyways, the parents are for a late dinner / movie night. The father tells the babysitter that once the kids are in bed, she should go to this specific room because he does not want her wandering around the house and to watch TV in there. The parents take off and she soon gets the kids into bed and goes to the room to watch TV. She tries watching the TV, but she is disturbed by a clown statue sitting in the corner of the room. She tries to ignore it for as long as possible, but starts freaking out so much that she can't handle it. She resorts to calling the father and asks, "Hey, the kids are in bed. The clown statue is freaking me out. Can I switch rooms?" The father says, "Seriously, get out of the room, get the kids, and call." She asks what's going on. He responds, "Just go next door at once and call the police and then call me back." The kids goes next door and calls the police. When the police get there, she calls the fathers back. So, really, responds, "We do not have a clown statue." He further explains that the children have been complaining about a clown watching them as he sleeps. He and his wife just blew it off, assuming the kids are having nightmares. The police arrive and apprehend the clown, who turns out to be a homeless man dressed up as a clown. He sits in the room at night, watches the kid. He survives by... He survives by eating their food and has been hiding in the house since about 6 months. When the babysitter came in the room, he was startled, and the only thing he could do was freeze in panic. And he has been sitting there watching the family since then.
Wow. Blow the candle.
Ooh.
On that, I actually have a request for Bishop. The one with the guy who videotaped his house because his food was going missing.
Oh, that one.
So this is actually a true story that happened to a Japanese man. He had food going missing for months, and at first he thought it was a rodent of some sort. He thought he had mice or rats or something, but it started getting to be more and more food. So he set in his house to see if he could catch whatever it was on camera, and he goes back the next morning to watch it, and he sees a woman from underneath his sink on camera crawl around the house, eat some food, and crawl back underneath the cupboard that he's currently sitting there watching the video next to. He doesn't think anything of it, calls the police to come check it out, and they come. She's still in the cupboard. She'd been living in his cupboards for over 6 months, eating his food without him being aware of it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Not okay with that.
Yeah,
Not okay with
that's
that.
not cool.
Just eat any
I mean, I hate it when my roommates steal my food.
We're getting requests for Ribbon Girl.
Oh,
Nice work.
So
Brittany got
excited.
excited there.
You know, you know that one?
so now there's
I gotta look
Wax
it up.
and Rockstar on my floor.
But first, Justin, do your story.
Alright, I finally picked one of Edgar Allan's poems.
Oh, great! Edgar Allan Poe, classic.
Missed a golden opportunity. Edgar Allan poem.
See what I did? I did that.
I can't.
Yeah,
see
but
it.
I don't listen to you, Justin.
All right, let's get to the poem.
Alright, since it is one of these shorter ones, I chose Alone.
Okay.
Nice.
From childhood's hour I have not been, as others I have not seen, as others saw I cannot bring. My passion is from a common spring, source I have not taken. My sorrow I could not awaken. My heart did joy at the same time. All I loved alone. Then, in my childhood, in the dawn, most stormy life was drawn. From every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that on me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying, from the thunder and the storm, and the cloud that took the form of a demon in my view.
Nice. Very good. That's Poe.
Are you ready, Brittany?
Do your candle.
I'm trying to find the story.
Okay, here. I will tell one that I just made up. It's very short.
Okay.
Typically, schizophrenia is diagnosed during puberty. I was diagnosed when I was 35. I don't normally turn to medical help for things like this, but the voices are getting worse and worse. Shrieks and howls, scratching, tearing. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I just needed it to stop. Pills definitely do work. Now, if only they could make a pill that would make the putrid smell of the corpses stop bothering me.
I found a story for Z to read.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to
Oh, I
read.
thought you were.
Is it a long one?
No.
Okay.
No, there's not.
Where is it?
We have 9 candles left.
Oh, yeah. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8.
You got a bunch of claps, Justin.
Not. Oh, yeah. Very nice. No, 9 candles. We are at stretch.
Do you want me to read it now, or does anyone have a story?
Go ahead and read it now because Brittany's still looking for the correct one.
Is it
Wait,
pretty long?
I have
Oh,
the,
okay.
It's about 3 paragraphs.
Miss Megan Wolfgang is hitting on Lupus, and I like her line.
Okay, let's hear it.
Lupus, Vincent Van go out with me?
Oh! Oh! I do like puns.
You need a punny art rebuttal for your married.
Oh god. Can I see the list?
Are there any more puns? Or pickup lines?
Read your story.
No.
Yeah, read the story.
But I want to hear more. Okay. My cousin and his wife lived in a huge Doberman in a little apartment off Maroba Road. One night they went out for dinner and a spot. By the time they got home, it was late, and my cousin was more than a little drunk. They got in the door and were greeted by the dog in the lounge room. My cousin just fainted, but his wife rang the veterinarian, who was an old family friend of hers, and got her to meet her at the surgery. The wife drives over and drops off the dog, but decides that she'd better go home and get her. She gets home and finally slaps my cousin into consciousness, but he's still drunk. It takes her almost half an hour to get him up the stairs. Rings. She's tempted to just leave it, but she decides that it must be important or they wouldn't be ringing that late at night. As soon as she phone, she hears a vet's voice screaming out, "Thank God, I got you in time. Leave the house now. No time to explain." Then, because she's such a trusted old family friend, the wife trusts her. Because she's such an old family friend, the wife trusts her, starts getting the hubby down the stairs and out of the house. By the time they made it all the way out, the police are outside. They rush up the front couple and into the house, but my cousin's wife still doesn't have a clue what's going on. The vet shows up and says, "Have they got him? Have they got him?" "Who?" says the wife, starting to get really pissed off. "Well, I found out what the dog was choking on. It was a human finger." Just then, the police drag out a man who was bleeding profusely from one hand. "Hey, Sarge," one of them yells. "We found him in the bedroom."
I don't know.
With all the candles going out, is there anything we can do about it unfocusing a lot? Because it's not adjusting itself anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just because it's like a blur of candles right now.
Yeah, it's just orbs of light.
Maybe it's the.
Honestly,
No, it's the camera.
Honestly, I don't think there's really much that we can
That's
do.
what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point they're just here for the audio experience.
I'm really sorry, guys, but because of the lighting, it's going to start doing that. Clear up once some more of these go out.
What if we brought the camera in a little bit?
I mean,
It's too
if
much.
we move all the together, it might focus again, but then it'll be darker on the outside.
Yeah.
But we can try.
I was gonna say, when we're done, aren't we turning back on the lights?
We're not dead.
Okay, here, let's try screwing the candles back in really quick and see if that actually helps the autofocus, because there'll be a light to focus in on.
No, unfortunately, there's
on the
not night
webcam.
vision on this webcam. I apologize.
No,
for that.
it doesn't look like it's focusing. Let's just keep telling the stories and go with the flow.
Okay, so I got.
We have 8 left.
There's apparently 3 different versions, so I remember reading.
Okay. Ribbon Girl.
Yes. Once there was a man who fell in love with a beautiful girl. The next full moon rose in the sky, they were wed. To please her husband, the young wife wore a different gown each night. Sometimes she was dressed in yellow, night she wore red or blue or white. She always wore a black velvet ribbon around her slender neck. Day and night she wore that ribbon, and it was not long before her husband's curiosity got the better of him. "Why do you always wear that ribbon?" he asked. She smiled a stranger smile and said not a word. At last her husband got angry. One night he shouted at his bride, "Take that ribbon off! I'm tired of looking at it." "You'll be sorry if you do," she replied. Every morning at breakfast, the husband ordered his wife to remove the black velvet ribbon from around her neck. Every night at dinner, he told her the same thing. Every morning at breakfast and every night at dinner, all his wife would say was, "You'll be sorry if I won't." A week had passed. The husband had no longer looked in his wife's eyes. He could only stare at that black velvet ribbon around her neck. One night, as his wife lay sleeping, he tiptoed to her sewing basket. He took out a pair of scissors. Quickly and quietly, careful not to hurt her, he bent over his wife's bed. And snip went the scissors, and the velvet ribbon fell to the floor. And snap! Off it rolled over the floor into the moonlight, wailing tearfully, "I told you you'd be sorry."
The focus has come back, and there are praises of Lord Bishop, King God, Smitey.
Bishop didn't fail for once.
I'm broken in both directions. You know this.
I actually just noticed there's 7 candles left. You should
Oh.
all tell one.
Sounds like one story each, finishing with not.
I was gonna say, not the
Exactly.
one last.
Yes.
What I was thinking.
Ryan, seems like you already got one. You got one picked?
Yeah.
Sounds like
I'm gonna
this
see if
was-
I remember what I read properly. This is one of the short ones, though.
That's fine.
They celebrated their first successful cryogenic freezing, but he had no way of letting them know he was still conscious.
Who's next?
I'm almost ready.
I'll go.
Okay.
It's a short one. Okay. So I was going to the mall with my usual friends on a Thursday, and on the way to this parking lot that I've never seen before. It's the same route that they always take, and there was this lady in a white dress, and she kept looking at me. Kept looking at me, and then gone. On the way back, I tried looking for that parking lot, and it's not there anymore.
Is that with us?
Yeah, it's always with you guys.
What?
Whoa.
I told you guys.
Who's left? Who shall be the next one?
Sure. I can't breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead.
It's kind of like the first one that I told.
Mhm.
And the last one.
Got Justin? Keegan?
I like those I have no mouth and I must scream stories.
You know what? I found one that ends kind of good. Give it a shot, and hopefully it works out.
Okay.
The title of it is What the Dog Knew. In my old apartment, my dog would, on occasion, look down the hallway towards the bedroom from the living room and growl. For no apparent reason. Also on occasion, when I was sleeping in the bedroom, she slept at the foot of the bed. I would wake up with her staring intently at the door and growling. She was a big girl, 140 pounds of Great Dane. So, for a couple of years of this, thinking, oh god, my dog has a good imagination. Wrong. One night I woke up due to not growling, but barking for all she was worth. Not at the door, she was barking straight at me. I opened my eyes pretty much immediately, and there was a blur of light leaning over me. Very close, certainly less than 6 inches from my face. It was not a distinguishable light. It was more resembled as a person-sized vision of a colorful nebula. You may see a picture in. 3 dimensions in all, I immediately got the distinct impression that there was a thing watching me sleep. For God knows how many times before. For all the clarity and distinct feeling, I had no sense of what I wanted or whether it was malevolent or just curious. I flipped right the fuck out, jumped backwards to the other side of the bed, too terrified to scream, and a blur of light receded and disappeared over the course of about 3 seconds. My dog was obviously going ape. After, I asked the building manager if anybody had ever died in there. She investigated that and came back to me with a couple of yes. A woman had died of a drug overdose in that apartment in 1955, 12 years earlier. Shortly after the child removed from her custody, she became addicted of her problems. The dog did out the hallway from time to time, but I never saw it again. I moved out about a year later. I've had encounters, but this literally inches from my face, watching me sleep, gives me the shivers every time I think about it.
Nice. Dog lucent.
And now it gets eerie dark.
Yep.
Yep.
Very dim. Justin.
Can they even see us anymore?
There's a bit of a delay, so I can't. There's still 4 candles.
Oh, okay.
And my phone had to turn off.
Okay, so it's dangerous sneaking without your parents knowing, because by the time that they discover that you're not home, you'll be dead.
Nice.
Ooh. Your turn.
I'm trying to find one.
Nopple, pass it this way.
No, there's
There's
a
a list of short
specific one I
ones.
was trying to find your stories.
That's yours.
I know.
That's the one that could kill us.
Candy.
Will it kill me?
So
The final
funny.
candy.
Candy. Easter bunnies eating candy.
I think I know that one, but I don't remember it.
It's really short. Like short. I don't want to tell now though.
Okay, if you look it up for me, I can tell it. What is it?
I think it's just called Candy.
So guys, any Q&A for us while we get this figured out for the last 2 candles?
Actually, Bishop, why don't you tell? The PS people have just joined us. Tell them what exactly we're doing.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay,
idea.
yeah, sure. Well, we are playing 100 Candles. I'm not going to try to say a Japanese name and make a fool out of myself like Nopple does. Basically, the way it works is 100 stories, and for each story that you finish, you blow out a candle. The prerequisite is supposed to be a creepy story of some sort. And so here we are, 7 of us gathered together, plus Natasha running all of our tech stuff, telling creepy stories. We're down to our last.
Okay,
Isn't something supposed to happen?
Oh yeah.
find out.
But we
We're
don't.
getting to
But
that.
we'll find out once.
Oh,
Should
yes,
we give
will.
one last hello before something happens to us?
I was telling them we'll do that at the last candle, and I was thinking Lupus could walk up to the
Okay, you'll have to guide me a little bit.
Okay, so this one's called Candy. Mom said, rubbing her eyes and standing in the doorway to her mother's room. Mom, the Easter Bunny is eating my candy, she said. Not candy, the woman replied. The Easter Bunny gives out candy, he doesn't eat it. The woman lightly shook her covers and continued to speak. Her pillow and halfway to her daughter. Go back to sleep, baby. But Mom, the girl said, the Easter Bunny is eating my candy. In a more serious tone, almost as if she was going to cry. Her mother sat up and opened her arms. Baby, I just told you, Easter Bunny doesn't eat. He hands it out to little children. Besides, it's not even Easter yet. Go back to sleep, she said in her kindest voice. Okay, Mom, sighed as she turned to walk out the room. The woman smiled and thought, crazy kid with her lively imagination, and went back to sleep on a whim. The little girl stood for a while, staring at the Easter Bunny eating her candy. She then sighed, Mommy said I should go back to bed. The Easter Bunny smiled, turn around and don't look back. He flicked a shiny metal pendant at the girl. She picked it up and cried as she saw what it was, a dog-tied candy.
Ooh.
Watch your candle.
So if this is your last hurrah, you may as well all say hello again.
Hello.
Oh, at the very end.
Thank you for tuning in.
This is not goodbye.
Thank you for watching what is potentially the longest mass suicide ever.
We could have just drank Kool-Aid. We would
don't
have been
think I
hydrated,
did.
and this would have been a lot faster.
Don't shake it. You don't want to put it out with the.
things.
Watch out for the cord.
That's actually probably pretty centered right there.
Why don't you just go here?
We don't know how.
Around these people because they
You
deserve
can't really
to know
break the
this.
circle that much.
And the mic's there.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about 100 Candles. So, most things that you've read, that I believe all my crew have read, that's that something supernatural should happen or a ghost shall appear. Well, there's a little more to it than that. Now, you see, doesn't come out often. Because most people who do this, they get to this last candle and they get too scared to finish it. But at the end, after this candle, have you ever heard of Io and Dawn, if I'm saying that right? It looks like wearing either a blue or white kimono, with black hair, horns, white skin, and sharp claws. It's a creature that feeds on fear. Like the fear we've created, telling all these. She rises from the smoke of the final candle that's been blown out. And then from there, as most people haven't actually blown out this last candle, they don't know what she does. One last jump scare, or she could attack and kill everyone here. You guys didn't know about that, huh?
Well, this is what I get for not reading beforehand.
Now.
Let's see if she comes.
Great, you put it next to me.
We already established if she goes after you, we're all fucked.
Yep.
She better not come because we didn't sign up for Will.
I do apologize for keeping that all a secret to you guys, but hey, I thought that was a way to end it.
That was fun.
I guess I'll be
All
doing.
right.
I guess I'll be doing
Uh,
research from now on.
Let's get some lights back on. Let's talk to our viewers a little bit.
It's so bright! No! Fuck, dude!
Oh,
Little known fact, guys. Apparently, 100 Candles turns you into vampires because the light burns.
I'm actually okay, but okay.
Well, you
you
so
already.
right! Oh my god.
I saw you.
let's do it quick. Let everybody still stay
I gotta
serious for a second.
I'm just stretching. I'm sitting right here.
All right, I would like to take a moment to first off thank all the viewers for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as we all did. We had a lot of fun here telling each other ghost stories, and yeah, 100 candles, woo! 100 ghost stories on a dark Halloween night.
Yay.
Keegan, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. If anything, it gave us time to all come together as a crew.
I agree. Z.
Oh, I had that many things to talk about.
I'm sorry.
You did good.
Brittany, what about you?
It was fun.
I enjoyed it too.
I think my legs hurt and I really need a cigarette.
Justin.
Yeah, it wasn't all that bad, yeah.
It was fun though.
Oh
I
yeah,
had a lot of fun.
oh yeah.
Mr. Bishop.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad to hear that you guys want to do some sort of meetup. I love making games, so my brain's already storming for some way of running a convention of some sort. If you guys haven't already, you should check out our Facebook page and join it. I'm going to be posting some polls on there to get an idea of where you guys need to come from for the convention, where the best location is, and for prices and stuff. So
That sounds good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I never even thought about that. That's never crossed my mind, so I'm glad that you guys suggested that, and I'm glad that Bishop has taken the lead on see if we can make that happen. So yeah, just let me know what you need, and I will support that.
You know a lot of people message asking to meet you, right?
Well, yeah, but that's creepy.
It's different to say, hey, I want to meet you, to, hey, we want to meet all the fans.
Yeah, and you guys can also take a chance to meet all the wonderful people that have made this possible. Thank all of you for and taking time out to do this with me. Thank you, Keegan, for loaning your house, and we didn't burn it down.
This time.
And
Surprise.
This time.
Lots of wax to
Still
clean up,
haunted,
though.
though. Lots of
And
wax and debris.
thank all the viewers for this. This is really great. And I would have to say, at this point, I think we're about done here.
But we can always stick around and answer some questions.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If they would like some
I mean,
questions
it's 10
answered.
right now. I say maybe give them until 10:30 for some
Okay,
Q&A.
yeah, sure. We can do a Q&A.
I would
here.
like to stand up.
And some
I
people
would
can,
like to have a
some
sit
can
around.
go out and smoke while we do
Yeah,
it.
we can officially break the circle, so...
Yeah.
Am I cooking now?
Yes, you can.
What is
Hey, look, it's Natasha.
So I say, how about you guys stick with us for a couple minutes? We're gonna take like a stretch break and we'll be right back. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Jesus, there you go.
Bye.
Right?
My legs are so tired.
Yeah.
Still watch what you say because we are still airing.
We asked her to go out.
No, I'll say they've heard a lot of terrible things from us.
Oh yeah, dude. We talked about. Oh, yeah, we're going this way.
It'll be easy.
How many episodes have we done now? We're done now with profanity giveaway.
Well, I'm more just saying.
We're not
Super
that bad.
offensive.
We're not that bad. I mean, you might be.
The poker. It's like we don't have the camera.
They're so excited.
It's gone up and down a little bit. That's fine though.
No, let's let it
No,
go.
I mean you can just let
We're
it go.
just gonna let it run. Just kind of you'll
You
see.
can watch Brittany the Flapper dance for a moment.
I don't know how to.
Here, guys, I'll try to get in here and do
No,
the
I'll
Star
do
Wars shuffle
Shepherd
for you.
It's dance off time, guys.
This is the Shepherd Shuffle as best as I can do. Everyone's about to do this. Ever play Mass Effect? It's not Shepherd dances.
This is why I'm Star Lord, because this is the extent of my dancing abilities.
Have they brought? Like we got a few of us here. We can answer.
Yeah, I just need to stand for a minute. I don't care if I answer the question though.
Someone asked if you it on camera.
Forwarded on camera.
I have.
Does while we're doing this count?
Did you see the candle he didn't blow out? I blew out earlier.
Oh, we want to know what our costumes are, some of them.
Okay. Well, I ended up not. I didn't get my costume together because I usually go as Indiana Jones for Halloween, but I didn't end up doing that this year. So I'm partly Shepherd. Oh!
I'm not a hooker.
Come on, guys. Star Lord. The outlaw.
Who? Oh, Sir Star Prince! Yeah, I remember that guy!
The only couple of us are in costume. I'm Star Lord. Brittany was a flapper. Keegan, if you couldn't tell, is a military guy. And Ryan over there was dressed up as an alternate universe Constantine, John Constantine.
I was gonna dress up as Abram, but that would involve shaving, so.
I'm gonna kind of stand over here so I can see the stream a little bit.
Oh, somebody's not happy.
Why am I happy?
Because you didn't do kidding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell you what, everybody, if you'd like more, like to see particular ones, I still do narrations. So, maybe what we can do is, how about I'll do a post.
Yep, we'll do more polls.
Yeah, and I'll do a Facebook post. If you'd like to see a particular story, put a comment in there. That way I can have all my recordings in one Facebook setup. Then from there I could keep it together and start picking things from that.
Yeah, we are limited on how many things we can put into a poll, so your story may not come up immediately, but we'll try our best to do a poll for as many stories as we can.
By the way, somebody said.
Yeah, boom,
I
boom, boom.
think you should go as Bishop from Aliens next year.
Though, cool kind of way to be Bishop cut in half.
I'm like, I have enough milk.
Wait, and also, if you guys have any game suggestions for just stuff you want to play at that convention, believe it or not, I already conceived a survival horror game with him I want to run the convention anyway.
The musical.
Someone wants to know your favorite anime mangas.
Oh, okay.
Anime mangas.
I don't do a lot of it, but I do have a few. Full Metal Alchemist is freaking amazing.
Brotherhood. Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. The other one got a little weird, but Brotherhood is amazing. Lately, I've actually been watching Dead Man Wonderland. That's pretty good, but I don't think it's getting a second season. What's that?
She said she tried.
Oh, tried it, yeah.
Attack on Titan.
Oh, Attack on Titan! That one's really good. So,
I don't think he's ever watched Attack on Titan.
no, I love it. I know, yeah.
You actually watch it?
I know who the female Titan is.
Poisonous Carrot wants you to say her name.
Poisonous Carrot.
For me, I have a lot of anime. Like, it'd be hard for me to name a lot, so I'll just say like some highlights. One of my all-time favorites is Trigun. It was also one of my first anime.
Oh, by the way, I watched a little more of that. I got to Wolfwood.
Yeah, you told me. But yeah, I really enjoyed Trigun. As far as manga goes, it actually got featured in Shonen Jump. I read it before it was in Shonen Jump, but Siren, I really respect they did one story arc and ended, not a lot of series. That's the same reason I like Trigun, and I also named Chrono Crusade for the exact same reason. One story arc, and it's fantastically done. He already named Full Metal Alchemist.
I like Rurouni Kenshin. It was my very first anime, and I still absolutely adore it. I've been watching it.
I should rewatch it. I haven't watched it yet this year. I also need to rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho because I watch it like once a year.
I just wanted to do with Yu Yu Hakusho. I've never really seen one. I just know that you got the guy that does this. I always wanted to do a music video with Yu Yu Hakusho with the Finger Bang song from South Park.
Lisa.
Someone's done it. Someone's done
really?
it. It's a YouTube poop.
I need to go look at that.
Lissa Andrews would like a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alyssa Andrews!
Oh, why is Lupus the only one wearing shoes?
I'm wearing shoes.
There's a couple people wearing shoes. Most of us aren't. Couple reasons for that. Reason number one, we wanted to be comfortable because we were here for. Reason number two is I don't know if you've ever sat down Indian style with shoes on for that long, but they get very uncomfortable and they dig into your thighs.
I've been wearing heels since 5:30 this morning.
Hot wax on the floor.
Yeah,
I knew I was going to spill it.
I also, believe it or not, I went to work dressed as Star-Lord, and I actually went from work to costume-related errands to here. So I've been on my feet all day.
Tell me your name.
Dynamite Dylan says Lupus should go as awesomeness. Wait, he's that censored curse word days a year.
Oh, I'm going to assume that's awesome.
Z, what's your name?
Z.
Z's name is Z.
If you want to know, her actual name is Jihong.
Yeah.
That's why we call her Z, because
It starts with a Z.
it starts with a Z.
Though I've been debating on calling her Julie lately.
Because that's also an Asian name that starts with a Z and has a J sound.
Julie, do the thing.
Apparently that's the Julie thing now.
Somebody also called you
Sophie
Indiana
would
Lupus.
like you to marry.
What's that?
Sophie would like you to marry her.
I'm sure you're a wonderful girl, Sophie, but I'm already married. The ring is now on my finger. We just got married officially Wednesday.
So your official answer there, because that wasn't actually a no, is you better hope that Becca's there for Will It Kill Me, where he gets a response and it doesn't kill him, it kills her instead. Then maybe he'll be available after like 7 years of grieving.
Oh, somebody asked when there will be a Will It Kill Me musical.
I haven't, but I'll see if maybe I get some writers and
Yeah,
maybe we can do like an operatic
I'll tell you
version.
what, we won't make a promise, but I do at composing the instrumental stuff. So if we can find someone who can do decent word stuff, we won't have great voices, but we can.
Why not? It'd probably be a bonus episode.
Obscene Plays wants you to fix your donation button. He would like to donate to you.
It's broken?
It's evidently broken.
That's why you haven't been getting donations.
We weren't aware it's broken. Thank you for bringing it to our attention, and we will fix it as soon as possible.
I thought it was working.
Did you try donating to yourself to test it? That's the best way of doing it.
How
I hit
old
the
are
button.
you?
28.
How old are you?
Can Melanie get a hug?
You should go hug your camera. That's the closest you can do. Hug your camera.
How old are you?
I am 25, and I actually stopped aging because I've been determined my whole life to never be older.
How old are you?
Okay.
I actually forgot until he mentioned it.
Are you 25?
Yeah.
I am 24.
Are we listing off
Yes.
ages? I'm 23.
20. We're 20
No one else
something.
wants to answer.
I am 25.
How old are you, Justin?
Justin's a baby.
You just turned 23.
23.
I'm 138.
You are not 138. You're 28.
Any more questions?
Do you know what Naruto or Black Butler is? If so, name characters from each.
All right, no.
He can name Naruto characters.
All right. Can I say Naruto? Does he count?
Yeah, he counts. He's
Naruto? Kakashi?
Are you serious right now?
Kakashi!
Thank you.
And Sakura.
For the record, out of this group of friends, I'm the only person that's actually stuck with 2 chapters to go.
Alright. I saw an episode of Black Butler, so
I had to think about finishing
there's
things with the exception of Bleach because I couldn't do it.
there's the Black Butler, there's the kid, and that creepy mortician.
Y'all are too tall for this camera. Also, Senpai, will you notice me? Cheshire Cat wants to know.
Wait, what?
Senpai, will you notice me?
We can't notice Cheshire Cat because by the time we look, he'll be disappearing.
I'm noticing you right now.
Let's go back to sitting on the floor so they can capture us.
Good idea,
Nobody sit on
Yeah,
candles.
no one's in candles. You know, just
Well, they're not lit, so
But
I
I'm
mean.
not tall.
It probably still hurts.
I don't know. I don't think you want wax and wax up your butt.
Sit again.
Well, maybe I do.
I'll move the
my
mic
tie.
a little bit.
Yeah.
It is not easy being alternate universe John Constantine. God damn it! There we go.
Kaeru RNC wants to know if Z, will you marry him?
Why?
It's very important to know something. Z's only relationship is with food. If you are made of food, literally, she will marry you, but she'll also probably murder you to eat you.
Yeah.
They want a group hug.
Okay.
Everybody-
Wait. We have to do it mystery. We have to do it mystery man style. We have to make a circle and group hug.
No! Oh, so we gotta stand up?
Yeah, it has to happen.
They were literally just saying
I
we're
just
just
sat
talking.
back down!
Come here, big boy! Come here, big boy!
Come here.
Yelling, you're hurting the people.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Z, join.
Hugging my leg.
Let's yelling. We can't plot.
You said to sit down. I just sat down.
Lupus, what is your favorite creepypasta?
This was actually asked before on a different Q&A. I really like the rake. Just that creature. It's just scary to me. That psychological horror. It's got a good design. It's got an interesting MO. It doesn't come out and kill you. It fucks with your head, and then it kills you. Or I mean, maybe just drive you insane and just cause you to just kill yourself or something like that.
Like all good monsters.
Yeah, that's
What's your favorite song?
favorite song?
It's like picking a favorite kid.
Oh gosh, there's so many. I can tell you some ones.
My dad's able to do that.
Rhapsody should be everyone's answer.
What's that?
Bohemian Rhapsody should be everyone's answer.
I will agree. Bohemian Rhapsody is amazing, but if I had
It's
to pick
the
a
ultimate
second,
rock song.
I mean, he's just a poor boy from a poor family, so he wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. I mean, he's caught in a landslide. There's just no man.
I will say a couple ones that I like. I listen to a lot of Silent Hill music. Theme of Lore is freaking amazing. Actually, I listen to a lot of soundtracks. Suicide Mission for Mass Effect.
Yeah, what you'll find about him is he brings the soundtracks to the table, and the rest of us bring the classic rock and the metal to the table.
I bring
No, I'm into
things like
soundtracks too.
parodies.
All right.
Country.
Fuck
I like
you!
parodies.
I like the Outlast soundtrack.
The rest of us are allowed to live past tonight.
I have an obsession with Outlast.
Okay.
All of our favorite horror games.
Ooh.
Outlast.
Resident Evil.
Outlast for that one.
That's hard.
Such a problem.
I would be Silent Hill 2.
I'm gonna have to go with Eternal Darkness because it did things that no other horror game ever has done.
Yeah,
Eternal
Cthulhu stuff
Darkness,
is really hard to
Saturdays
do.
Requiem would be my answer as well.
Have I played
I
any?
don't-
I played Fatal
I have a
I
Frame.
guess you can count Fatal Frame or Alan Wake.
Alan Wake! I love Alan Wake.
Dead Space or
Such a
Condemned?
good game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Personal favorite, just Resident Evil 2. I know it's kind of the easiest of the old school ones, but it's
It's
super.
also the one that needs to get remade the most.
Hell yes, but it's just personally just really nostalgic for me.
Let's get Justin's answer and then
Really,
very important question.
I really don't have a favorite horror game.
How about a regular horror? I'd rather have a regular game.
If you want him to have a favorite horror game, you need to design a horror game about the Zerg, and it will be his favorite horror game.
Okay.
StarCraft.
Jordan wants to know, what scent are the candles?
Do we even
These
smell them?
actually are not scented.
Smells like shit.
I'm actually very
They
glad
made
they
me
aren't scented
cry.
because I probably would have been dying during that if they were.
Usually,
Yeah.
though, since they get red, a lot of them turn out to be
Cherry?
We didn't use those.
These are old ones from old ones, but they tend to be. Ooh, this
Oh,
one
you
was cherry, black cherry.
Should have known.
Tend to be cherry, apple, or some kind of cinnamon because those are the red ones that I
Please
like
no
to
more
use.
cinnamon.
Let's see. I guess I can kind of connect these ones out. I am Lord Oziel. Would like to know, is there any ritual you're scared to do? And somebody else wanted to know what your fears are. I already told them that you hate bees.
Oh God, bees! I'm not doing anything with bees. Not really. What's that?
The one you didn't want to do was the devil's game.
Yeah, I
That's not afraid to do.
yeah, I don't have any that I'm like afraid to do. At least I haven't gotten one yet like that. There are ones that I won't do just because of practicality. I know the Devil's Game is one that a lot of people want to see, but it involves breaking into a that's probably not happening. Staircase Ritual is a great one if you didn't have to stand on each step for an hour.
Oh God.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, those are just the ones that I can't do. As for like fears, bees are a big one, but I think I don't like being alone.
Drowning too.
Oh.
I don't like drowning either. But I'd say if I was gonna like pinpoint like if you're that fear creature and you were gonna hit me for like a fear thing, probably like, the big loneliness thing would hit me.
So if you were the last man on Earth, you'd be absolutely ecstatic to hear a knock on the door.
Yes, I'd be sad if there was a lock on the door.
What's the next will it kill me?
Okay, I have it planned. What I'd like to do next is you guys have been asking for a couple things. One is the cell phone game. That's gonna be it. But I want to combo with 3 phone ones. The cell phone game. Sadako's phone number from Saya in Underworld. You're going to mention that one. And also Booth World Industries. I'm going to give all 3 of those a call and see if I get a response or die.
I think Dynamite Dylan is your spirit animal, Z, because he just said that you were staring at legs like they are chicken legs.
What?
You get her better than almost everyone in this room.
Orion would like to know if you are Cthulhu, Lupus.
No.
Not Davy Jones, Cthulhu.
The same thing.
Tori's birthday is in, I think she said December. She wants an early birthday.
Who is it?
Tori?
Tori? Is it early December? Oh God, Tori, I'm so sorry. Your birthday's near Christmas. I'm so sad. I hope you don't get jacked and get birthday. You need to get birthday gifts and Christmas gifts. Make sure they know they're separate holidays. They need to celebrate. Yeah, there's no birthmas. You get both your birthday and Christmas. Happy birthday, Tori.
Days and Brackle is going to sleep.
Good night. Wait, no. Go to sleep. Oh shit! See what I did there? Yeah.
Yes.
I almost called you cheese.
What do you think of Insidious?
Insidious?
I like Insidious.
I like that.
I only saw like the first hour of it. But from what I saw, it was good. I want to look at it though and start looking for the creature because I heard like if you look for it, the creature's in like the regular shots. So they don't refer to them or anything. I want to actually look back knowing that information and like start catching in places. But I need to see the full movie.
Yeah, Insidious was actually really terrifying to me because one of the reasons I have insomnia is I accidentally astral travel and I like wake myself up out of terror. So the very fact that that's what the premise of that movie was about freaked me the fuck out.
Do you ever get scared doing Will It Kill Me's? Any of you? Once? What did you get scared of?
It was actually twice, because the Midnight Man and then the Washu Club. I did not like being in that building.
The majority of the ghost hunting trip, I was pretty terrified, which is why I had a crowbar with me. And
Because that works great against ghosts.
Disperses them because it's iron. Thank you very much. I was prepared.
Okay.
Also, that's why I'm never in any of the rituals that will wind up killing you, because I'd be the unlucky that actually happened to.
Didn't we just do a ritual that would kill us?
I didn't say
He didn't
that.
warn me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about
Here's
that fact.
one I really like.
Though I didn't get to say my answer.
Oh, fine.
I mean,
Yeah, he's the star.
Hey,
You
talking
take
about
too long and the chat is going.
I'll say mine real
Too
quick.
long.
Yes, because I mean, like, you always have in the back of your mind, maybe this is real, maybe something will happen. It's the fear of the unknown. But, yeah, I would say yes.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Lycanthropy.
That's
Yeah.
not
A superpower.
That's totally a superpower.
That's supernatural power.
Okay,
Shape
so
shift.
That is a virus.
lycanthropy on command,
Okay. How about shape-shifting? I would
but you would only shapeshift into one thing, wouldn't you?
probably.
Yeah.
Super
What would
speed.
you have?
Like I don't have to get
Not super strength.
no, soda.
Oh, yeah, that sounds more
So you
like-
want God mode.
Regeneration.
Natasha here would like invisibility because I'd like to steal things.
Telekinesis. So versatile.
You can just take things.
Yes, you could just take things if you teleport.
We'll go about maybe another 10 minutes worth, and then we'll probably shut it down.
Stop, well, let's be honest. I don't
Tori
need super
would
strength.
really love
True.
you to marry.
Really? How about, all right, you know what? I'll tell you what. Maybe I'll give you one better. I don't have it planned for this season, but it'll probably be at the very end of this season, but it's more than likely be the next season of Will It Kill Me. If you've seen one called The Queen of Fallen Blood.
Ooh.
Yes. It is kind of an enhanced Bloody Mary that have to do things like unscrew light bulbs to make sure they can't on. You have to get actual blood and put things on there.
Yeah.
It's a really version of Bloody Mary. I want to do that one. So yes, it's going to get done, and I'll give you an even better version of it. But it's going to probably be season 4.
That one's hard.
Dynamite Villain is going to bed.
Good night.
Favorite movie or favorite horror movie?
God, I'm such a classic. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but I really got to say recently, Guardians of the Galaxy was freaking amazing.
Oh yeah.
So amazing.
Fantastic.
My favorite movie is Shaun of the Dead.
Nice.
I am a sucker for the Lord of the Rings, the extended versions, even all of them.
See?
I don't really have a favorite movie. Before it was Transformers, but just because robots, and forget people. I see people all the time. Robots.
Yeah, but even the robot parts weren't very good.
But
Alright,
dude,
your
they
turn.
shift
Okay.
and wow.
Sorry.
You just want robots.
For a while, I can't really pick a favorite movie, but for a while, I felt like my favorite movie was The Professional. My favorite horror movie, though, hands down, is The Thing, the original.
Great movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And a testament to just how amazing, much more amazing practical effects are than CGI, because they still hold up.
You three. My all-time favorite movie is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I'm probably the most hardcore Scott Pilgrim fan you will ever meet. I have all my stuff autographed by him, have exclusive items, all kinds of things.
Okay, Alice is leaving, and they're asking when is your usual schedule for posting?
Bye, Alice. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Alright, real quick.
Favorite movie.
Four Brothers.
Favorite movie.
American History X.
All right, we got those out. Sorry, they're a little quicker. Bye, guys. Good night.
Night.
Usual post and schedule. For Will It Kill Me, it is specifically every other Friday, with the exception of when I take my breaks in between seasons. Also, this week was a bit of an exception because I was prepping for the live stream, so I did take an extra week here. That means that 2 weeks from today, from this Friday, next Will It Kill Me, and we'll keep doing that until the season 3 is finished. As for everything else, I do usually keep on a 1 video a week at least goal for myself, but because of work and personal life and all this stuff, I kind of have my little windows of opportunity where I can come in and do things. So I take those and I record where I can, and then I post where I can. I guarantee at least a video a week. But until I get a chance to really focus in on YouTube rather than my regular job and all that stuff, I'm gonna have to just take where I can.
Okay, Liar's Game Forever has a great question.
Great.
Favorite character or event from a tabletop role-playing game you were in?
Ooh. Wait, is this played in or DM'd for?
I think DM.
Well,
would
whoever
go
seen
down.
that, I just want to say props to your username. Liar's Game is a great manga.
See, that's so... Okay, you know what? I'll tell you what. I got the moment for you. I DM'd a story called Central Dark, and essentially what it was New York was taken over, what is under siege by hell. Hell itself has broken into New York and is attempting to basically break out to the rest of the world from that area. They quarantine the city, and most of the people here played survivors who ended up becoming the heroes who took the city back. It was open for any supernatural creature, kind of within reason on certain things. But the moment that I always refer to, because it just, no matter how I look at this, these jerks broke it.
Yeah. Plenty of
So,
Is it my favorite moment too? Is it oh, no. It was my time magic moment.
yeah, your time actually did a lot, but this one was just so early on. So, at one point, they end up in the sewers. And they're
I don't
fighting.
think I was there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're fighting a giant were-alligator. And we had two characters in particular. This is just an example because all of these guys managed to break the game somehow, some way. Including Tasha, who one-shot a boss, who was meant to be really hard because she had invisibility. But this one, Keegan, over here, played a very similar, kind of like the Hulks type, but not where he can transform or not. He was just a hulked-up, experimented-on human being who had a lot of strength for him. Who, at the time, was carrying a very small woman, probably about 90 to 100 pounds,
on my shoulder.
on his shoulders, who was the sniper, who also happened to turn into a 2-ton dragon. So at the time of this fight, she's on his shoulder. She's getting ready to snipe. He looks at this were-alligator, picks her up, and chucks her at the were-alligator. And I'm like, well, you're going to freaking kill her because, I mean, she's not changed. But she looks over and goes, I have involuntary transformation, right? If I get startled, I change. I go, oh, crap, you do. And he didn't tell her. He just went, I'm like, okay, roll for it. And he rolls, and he gets, a high roll.
I think I had the 20s.
Not that high, but it was high enough.
Ridiculous.
We were playing World of Darkness. We were playing World of Darkness, so we got off successes. So he chucks her. So I'm looking at this, and I just keep seeing this hulked up guy chuck 90 pounds of woman who turns into a 2-ton dragon. As she's flying, splats into this, and in my head I just see 5 different angles, just boom, boom, boom. I was like, no matter how it works, it's dead. You squashed it.
I like to break things.
This also killed the healer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He did also splat the healer who was being grabbed, but well, the healer became another awesome character who decided to
One-shot
my boss, Tasha. Invisibility. I'll give you a little hint. Invisibility in World of Darkness, fencing, and behind gap.
Works every time.
Yep, you're done. You're done.
I kind of want to do one of my favorite ones.
Okay, we'll do your one real quick. We'll take maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and I think we'll call it for tonight.
Okay, so I don't know if I should go on camera. I hate being on camera.
You can just tell it from
You can be
here.
the voice behind the camera.
I was DMing a story that I made up. It's called Phobic, and basically a bunch of paranormal touched people, these guys, were stuck inside of a hospital with their worst fears put in. And each level of the hospital was a different fear, and they had gotten to the fear of death. And this boss basically was death itself, would grab them, shove them in a coffin, and temporarily kill them. And Brittany here, she's the first to die, and she has one of the best powers for the ghosts for the temporary fight that I gave. And what she does, instead of fighting to actually do damage to death, is dance.
And say, not dead, not dead, not...
You are ruining the
I
story.
did? Oh, I'm sorry.
And when the next person gets grabbed by death, shoved in a coffin to ghost form, instead of telling him, hey, maybe you should help me attack death or anything, and him contemplating what the hell is happening, says, not dead, and continues to do nothing but dance.
You may have actually heard us say that in Will It Kill Me's because it is an inside joke with us forever.
Not dead, you're dead, I'm not dead. Not dead.
I'm a teacher storyteller.
What else we got?
Okay.
We'll do two more, and then we'll.
More
We're not
questions.
allowed to
One last
carry
reminder: look us up on
I'm not allowed to
Facebook. Join
carry
us so
what?
we can get our polls going.
Yeah.
Facebook, follow on YouTube. We've got a
Tumblr.
There's a Tumblr as well.
Like, comment, I have a Twitter too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is one somebody's been asking for. Supernatural. Do you believe any of it?
Absolutely.
I do.
Fuck no.
Here's the thing. I want to. I mean, like, it's just interesting. I'd love that if it was actually real, but so far I haven't had that aha, it's real moment. I haven't been convinced. If I had like one good encounter with something, a ghost or a creature thing, I think that would all be. There's other things here, but I haven't had that one that couldn't be explained away. I mean, even like all like the times at the Washoe Club and all that, there was a lot of weird things, but nothing that made me go, that is 100%.
Little did you know that I'm not really here.
You've been dead this whole time.
Are you Bruce Willis?
Oh no. But I hope maybe someday we'll have that moment, but for now I would say I'm not a believer yet, but I'm open to the possibility.
I think I definitely believe in the idea of unknown unknowns, and I definitely think there's a lot about the world that we just can't really comprehend right now. But I don't particularly think that's any reason to be like, yes, that's ghosts. That's totally ghosts. And I'm kind of like Nopal in that I haven't really seen anything that makes that I think of as irrefutable.
Okay.
Okay.
So
my favorite question. So
okay.
the
last
one,
question.
Let me find his name. It's Haven Knight. Would like to know how we would like to die.
Heroics.
That is yours.
Of course it's yours, Keegan.
Sound asleep, unlike the screaming passengers in the car.
This is why we don't let him drive.
Ever. Lies.
Wow, that's a tough one.
How would you want to die, Z?
I don't want to.
I think she wants to die from overeating.
No.
She wants to
then
die
I'll
in a
just
food
stop
coma.
eating.
I think I want to die. Why do I think I want to die like Harry Dresden's tombstone? I want to die doing the right thing.
I think you'd settle for being mauled by a werewolf attempting to get change.
That's that's number 2.
Or dying for YouTube.
Yeah, I guess also. Yeah, that's number 3.
Wow.
Level
I
list.
can in there.
Doing something crazy, I guess.
Doing the right thing.
I would like to die via something very lovely, gory everywhere. That'd be awesome.
Squashed like a bug.
No, not squash.
It's a very real possibility at my job.
Exploding or knives everywhere.
Justin, did you
Sounds painful.
respond?
No, I can't think of. That's a hard one.
Would you want to die
And a ball
jumping
fires
head
into
first into a
Justin, it
pit?
shouldn't be that hard. You die in battle. Go to Valhalla.
Yeah, see, that seems appropriate, right?
I was trying to think of how many people I'm going to take out with me.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's really up to you, buddy.
And what weapon I'm going to be using.
That, again,
Well,
up
one
to you.
hand, I would say, is a giant warhammer. The other one is the head of a fallen enemy you use to bludgeon people and
Justin.
intimidate them.
I got the
High
way.
five.
The
I got
question
the
is,
way
were
you're
you
gonna
willing
die.
to count because you know you're gonna do it like Gimli
Who's
and
left?
Legolas.
Well, this bishop will shut the fuck up.
Hey, alright, what's...
Well, who am I kidding? Bishop never shuts the fuck up.
Hey, he's been
It's not his
quiet.
fault.
No, it's not.
Alright, who's next?
I'm the only one left.
Alright, do it.
The details don't really matter, but I'd much rather die for something than of something.
For a cause.
Also, apparently somebody because they wanted me to say it. So hi, Jordan.
Also, I think most people want a goodbye since that was our last question. We've got Pupfish, Graham,
Alright, well,
1D Gaga.
Well, what?
Alright, so what are we doing here? Goodbye, Pufferfish. Goodbye.
Gaga.
Gaga.
Goodbye, everyone. We're not gonna remember.
Goodbye, Gamer Girl. Goodbye, the cat.
Draw.
Goodbye, Draw.
Oh god, we're gonna go down the entire list.
There's
aren't
no
we?
way we can do the whole list. Goodbye, everyone.
You're all awesome. Thank you for watching.
92
Thank you for
people left.
I am
sacrificing
not
way too
saying
many hours of your
92
life for
names.
us.
You know
Yeah.
the end of
We love
Whose Line
you
Is It
all.
What else
Anyway?
were they gonna do?
You know the end of Whose Line Is It Anyway, where they read the credits and they only hit like 5 names?
Yes.
That's what we're gonna be like. Yeah.
Bye. We love you.
Goodbye.
Bye, Lissa.
Keep an eye on the
Bye,
channel.
guys.
There's
Yeah.
much more coming.
Sorry. Goodbye, Jake. Goodbye, Jordan.
And I think at
Goodbye,
this point
Sandy.
we are gonna call the live stream.
Goodbye,
Good night.
Jordan.
Have a very safe and happy
Goodbye,
Halloween.
Oh yeah, it is Halloween.
Oh yeah.
You
Happy
just
Halloween.
realized it's Halloween.
And I think it's
forgot
time
about
for
that.
us to get this
There's
stuff
no
put away
candy.
and party.
Us being
Bye.
costumed is uncommon for her.
There's no candy, that's why I forgot it.